What is up, everybody? I am fired up to be back in the saddle, in the chair here, ready to talk about everything. It's Taco Tuesday, and that's right, as you can see right here, Tyler and Cal on Tuesdays. It's perfect. Tyler's not amused. He doesn't like it near as much as I do.
He's not amused, no.
Or hopefully all of you. I thought that was pretty neat. We have Taco Tuesdays right here, 8:30 p.m. EST. Tyler, we've got preseason week 1 that is right here. We're like 2 days away from this. We are in prime, like one-handed catch season in training camp. Like somebody makes a one-handed catch, everybody moves them up the ranks right now. The interns have released the initial depth charts, and Twitter is reacting accordingly right now. And there's just so much to discuss. Injuries, we've got depth charts, we've got all kind of stuff to talk about, which we are going to do right here after the intro video that we know and love from Finero. Let's go. Roll it. That was not the right word. Hang on. I got the right word. I love Wessel. Thank you for the welcome back. I took off last week. Tyler, thank you so much for letting me take off last week and just enjoy my time with my wife on my anniversary. You know, it was nice. It was nice to get out there. I appreciate that.
What did you expect me to say? Did you expect me to say, no, you can't take off?
I think the people like Taco Tuesday. AJ, happy Taco Tuesday to all. Ed says, happy Taco Tuesday indeed. I think this is a thing, Tyler. You're going to have to get used to it.
I don't really care. But the people should know that the only way I will take time off is if I die. If I die, I will take time off. Then I will not be in the chair. I won't be in the chair. But otherwise I will be here. So you're stuck with me forever.
You're hearing him right there. He's Tyler Karp. He's at DLF_Karp. He is a writer and a videographer for the DLF, Dynasty League Football. I'm a
videographer now.
Yes. And
somehow that's generous.
Adding to your titles now. So anything interesting that you've got that you just wrote that you like to talk about?
I mean, I can talk about what just dropped. Let's see. Today, my first round of training camp updates dropped. So I'm going to be talking about storylines from training camp. This one, you know, I talked about some things. There were things that I talked about. One of them was the Jets. I like to talk on the Jets. I was picking on the Giants, picking on how the Giants have been a mess, and talking about Trey Lance. So if you want to read it, it's we can put the link to that in the chat. So yeah, I would suggest that people watching, you should subscribe to DLF. If you do that, you'll be able to read all of these things.
That's right. Sometimes I even write things, Tyler, and I've got one coming out tomorrow that's on the Houston Texans sleeper. I got a little Jordan Akins love. If any of you guys are looking for a deep sleeper.
It already came out, bro.
Did it? Okay, well, it came out. Go check it out.
Yeah, no, I always check. I have so many articles that I always check the list of what's coming out when in order to be able to see, because I want to know when all of my articles are coming out.
Got a bunch of people in the chat here already. So what we're going to do tonight, this is every Tuesday night we do this.
I gave the people your article.
We answer a ton of questions. We're going to do this show. We're going to go 4 hours as long as you guys have questions and want to interact. This is the best chat room in YouTube. So if you stumbled onto this is your first time, welcome. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. If you have a question, go ahead and get that in. Put it in the live chat. It can be anything. We talk about trades. We talk about rookie drafts. We talk about, we'll talk about redraft. If you have a redraft league and you want to ask us questions about it, we will talk about that too. Let's get to some of these comments already. So this is a great way to go ahead and get read on here. Who dat? Love that. I'm a Saints fan. I'm right there with you, Mr. Who dat, whoever you are. Henry in the chat, smash that like button. That's right. So if you look down there, make sure that you are subscribed to the DLF YouTube channel and smash that like button, the thumbs up. That would help us out. Appreciate that. Trogdor's in here. Trogdor the Burninator, I guess. What's up, Henry? So that's another great thing. A lot of interaction in the chat room, getting used to each other, knowing each other. I was just on with Josh on another thing, which was really cool. So yeah, been far too long. So it's literally been like less than an hour since I was on with Josh. Taylor's got a question that he wants a thorough answer to. That's what we do, That's what we do, Taylor. So go ahead and get those in. And Josh misses you too, Tyler, just so you don't feel left out.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited that he misses me. Tell him to call me.
Tyler will be live as long as he's alive.
That's very true.
Good. This is we got some links in here if you're in there on Periscope either. Hey, Jordan Akins has some talent. I think you're right,
What talent? Right,
so
what? No.
This is one that I didn't know who I was going to write about when I started with the Texans, and the more I started digging into it, the more I liked Akins. I'm also currently doing one for the Cardinals, and the more I dig into everybody I want to write about on the Cardinals, the more I hate everybody on the Cardinals.
Yes, I would have if I had the Texans. I probably would have just written about Brevin Jordan.
It's Akins.
Akins is old. Yeah,
Did you read the article?
I don't need to read it.
You should.
I did my research on Akins when I dropped him out of my dynasty rankings entirely, and I was good there.
Bishop is in here. Yeah, sure. We always love a quick laugh. This is a robbery that went down in his leagues, or at least he thought it was. Somebody traded Zach Moss for a 2022 third and a 2023 fifth in a 16-team league.
Yeah, I would not have done that.
Wouldn't advise it.
No.
Where are you on Zach Moss this year?
Whatever. I mean, I wrote about him actually more than once. Actually, I've written about him a lot of times. I just kind of not a big fan, but maybe he'll be good. I don't know.
Maybe he'll be good. I think they definitely want him to, but I saw today he had another injury that's lingering.
Another injury. Yeah. We don't like that.
Yeah. Not with somebody with his history. That's not what you want to see.
No, it's funny. That's very much not what you want to see, actually. Injuries are bad. Injuries are bad. I don't want more injuries. But we know that Devin Singletary is not the answer. He's a lot of failure. He's a jag. So we don't want him.
So we want Matt Breida is what you're saying.
Hey, I wrote a Bills sleeper article I didn't expect to write. It's filling in for Eric.
Very good. Okay, here we go. Taylor is a 2021 first and second. A good offer for Higgins. Now, Taylor, we don't have quite enough information on this because we need to know Superflex and the size of the league. But if we assume it's Superflex and let's say a 12-team league, Tyler, what do you think?
It's not usually my style to do that. If it were just a single first, I'd probably do it, but probably not.
So there's a very important reason why I went with Superflex there, and I'm glad he mentioned the wide receiver because it was something that I know you wanted to be able to talk about today. There was a Twitter debate going on. Talk about trading future first for wide receivers in Superflex leagues.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that because there are so many wide receivers, right? So many wide receivers. And how many wide receivers really have a lot of dynasty value, right? I mean, how many? Not that many, right? I mean, there's a lot of wide receivers that are relevant on a weekly basis and maybe 10 that have like a high dynasty value, especially in Superflex. When you trade away a future first rounder for a wide receiver, I mean, giving up a potential chance at a starting quarterback. And we know what's happened with starting quarterbacks in Superflex. The value is crazy. It's hard to acquire a starting quarterback. It costs a first just to get the conversation going, let alone to actually get one. Like even a mediocre, I mean, I don't know what you want to call him, like Baker Mayfield. You want to call him mediocre, you can call him mediocre. But one first is not getting you Baker Mayfield. It's going to cost two firsts. It's going to cost two firsts. So to give up a first for like a wide receiver, I'm kind of meh on. Higgins, I'm a little bit more than meh. If it were just a first, I would have said yes. But a first to pay an additional second with a first to get to Higgins is not that exciting for me. What am I going to gain from that? So I don't really want to do that. But yeah, this whole argument came off of something about wanting to trade, a first for Laviska Shenault, and I was just like, no, you're taking all the downside with no upside. That's just a dumb move. So, T. Higgins is way higher in my value chart than Laviska Shenault. So, that was a different conversation, but the second kind of bridges the gap and leaves me back to the same conversation of not being that excited about it.
Josh is confirming that he really does miss you, Tyler. He really does.
Well, I mean, he could always have me on his show whenever he wants. The people should watch that show. It's at 3 o'clock, Monday to Friday, 3 Eastern, Monday to Friday, every day. They do a show every day. That's crazy that they do a show every day. The people should watch that show. But, all he has to do is call me.
And don't forget Friday nights with FanDuel now. They
yeah.
Amazing.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Wessel, how do you feel about Dan Arnold as a depth ad starter in Carolina?
I don't. Whatever. You can add him if you want. He's not going to be relevant.
Oh, maybe I'm a sucker for like late round tight ends. Maybe that's what I'm learning about myself. I'm interested because he's almost free. Here's why I'm interested. Ian Thomas last year ran like 500 routes.
Yeah, and he was horrible.
And got like 31 targets. 21 targets, something like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So that was targets are earned, right? Like targets are like you go out there, you get open, you're gonna earn targets.
What's Dan Arnold's history of earning any targets? When did he earn any targets?
He ran like 250 routes and got like a much higher percentage of targets on his route.
I don't care. He's terrible. He's just a guy. This is a Sam Darnold offense. I mean, he didn't do anything with Chris Herndon. Chris Herndon is way more athletic than Dan Arnold, and Chris Herndon did nothing. Like, I don't, no thank you. Terrace Marshall is emerging in Carolina. He is emerging. He's why I'm down on Robbie Anderson. And now another receiver is emerging. Robbie Anderson's not going away. There's not going to be a room for a tight end. Also, remember that running backs and tight ends pull from the same target pool, more or less. And who's there? Christian McCaffrey is there. Ian Thomas didn't even succeed without Christian McCaffrey. So, no. I have no interest in Dan Arnold at all. Ian Thomas is still there, too. It's not like he's not going to get any snaps. And then they also drafted Tommy Tremble in the 3rd round. He's going to get some snaps, too. So this is a big no for me. I'd rather take a chance on, someone I think who has some more upside, there's more future potential, that I haven't seen, like a Noah Gray or a Donald Parham. These are players I'd rather have. Dan Arnold is just a pass for me.
Yeah, Dan Arnold going off the board is tight end 41 right now. He's still just 26 years old. And I think there's something there. So 290 routes last year. He earned 45 targets versus Ian Thomas is garbage. 438 routes.
Oh, Ian Thomas is garbage. He shouldn't be on a roster.
Ian Thomas was just out there doing cardio during the Carolina games last year.
Useless. He shouldn't be on a roster at all. He is. You don't want him either. But I'm just saying.
Amount of routes, if he gets close to the same amount of target share, he's like you said, not relevant. I'm not saying he's going to be a stud, but he could be relevant if he gets that.
He's not going to be relevant.
Same amount of routes.
He's not going to be relevant. There are just so many other tight ends I'd rather take a chance on. He's just not on my list, so I'm good.
That's how I feel, and that's how Tyler feels about that. Wessel, perfect. So that must be on the Higgins trade question, there.
Yeah.
Cat Zero, fire analysis only around here. Cat.
I've heard from some people recently that they don't care about injuries. They don't care. They just are fine with dealing with they might play, they might not play, they might play, they might. Some people enjoy that. I can tell you that during the season, when you're setting lineups, you want to try to make trades, you want to have liquid assets. Injuries are bad. That means you can't trade. You can't trade. You can't put them in their lineup. You don't know. No one wants to trade for such a player. They don't know if they can start them that week. So yeah, injuries are bad. People actually, I think, underestimate the impact of injuries because you get stuck with a player and then you're stuck with them. That you can never trade them. And when are you ever going to be able to trade Michael Thomas now? When are you ever going to be able to do that? When is that going to happen? No, never, because no one's ever going to trust him again. So yeah, injuries are bad. And I think they're very underrated.
Josh, who do you guys like more, their current draft position, Debo or Ayuk? So I just pulled up DLF's most recent ADP. Brandon Ayuk is going as the wide receiver 19, 46 overall. Debo is wide receiver 39, 82 overall.
I'll take Ayuk.
Me too.
Not interested in. I'm not uninterested in Debo, but I'm not that interested in Debo.
Who would you rather, Debo Samuel? These are players going just before him. Debo Samuel or Elijah Moore?
Oh, Elijah Moore by a mile.
DJ Chark.
DJ Chark's one spot ahead. He's plummeting in my rankings, but he's still one spot ahead.
Okay, this is now right behind him. Tyler Boyd.
Oh, Debo.
I'd rather Tyler Boyd. Rondell Moore?
Oh, Rondell Moore by a lot.
Curtis Samuel?
No, I'm not in on
Curtis.
Debo
there.
Michael not Pittman. In on Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel's the same problem as Debo, except the fact that Curtis Samuel currently has a worse quarterback situation, is on the COVID list, and and now he got off that list, and now he's on the PUP list with another injury. So he hasn't actually done anything in camp at all. So that's bad. So I don't want that.
Michael Pittman,
Debo, with Wentz out.
Terrace Marshall.
It's getting close. It's gonna be Terrace Marshall very soon.
You were very high on Terrace Marshall to start with, like the foot injury was part of it, right?
Adjust, right? I mean, this is what you do. Mm-hmm. You adjust to what's. I hear people saying ridiculous things. They say ridiculous things. Don't adjust to anything going on in camp. Ignore it all. All that matters is what's played on the field. Really? How would that have worked out for you how is that working out for you with Denzel Mims? If you waited until Denzel Mims appeared on the field to make an adjustment, you would be like 50 spots too late and 3 months ago. You cannot wait until someone comes on the field to make an adjustment. If there's something that's apparent and obvious, like that Denzel Mims is a disaster, or that, Terrace Marshall is absolutely ripping camp apart, and he looks great, you make an adjustment. You don't just stick to what you thought before. That's what losing dynasty managers do. That's what losing dynasty analysts do. They just stick. It's called take lock. We don't do take lock here. We adjust to new information. There's new information that he's doing well. So you have to adjust to that. It's really that simple, right? I mean, I think that on the balance, people always say that people overcorrect, but I actually think people adjust too little. I actually think that they adjust too little to camp news, to what's going on in camp, to preseason when we have it. I actually think people don't take it into account enough, personally. So
can I add a caveat? Like, don't just react to headlines. Like, actually read the article. No, it's not a
headline.
No. I know you're not saying that. I just want to add this caveat to what you're saying, like, because you're 100% right, but I don't want anybody to think that means like you're reading a headline and reacting to that. Like,
but that's called being lazy. That's being lazy. That's being lazy.
But too many people will see something from like NBC Sports Edge or something, and it'll have like a headline, and they'll react to that like snippet of something that if you actually read the article or read like the comments that were actually made, like they don't actually, there's nothing to really react to. or certainly sometimes there's actually something positive when it's almost presented in a negative way. So just make sure you're actually reading the article and doing your homework and not just accepting things at face value if you are going to react. But then, react quickly. Don't be slow about it.
There's a lot of information. You react to it. I mean, it's just that simple, really.
P2 Thars here. Cal's back. Nice to see you guys. Thank you. I definitely missed hanging out with everybody here in the chat and with Tyler and talking about football. And we are right there. It's August 10th. We are so close. Good question right here from Alec. Aaron Jones, Travis Etienne, Moss for running backs. I'm not a contender. Should I rebuild? Wide receivers are Woods, Gallup, Curtis Samuel, and a bunch of nothing. Got offered A.J. Dillon for a second. Should he take it?
So wait a minute. You're asking if you're not a contender, should you rebuild? Yes, of course. Right? And like that's like a very basic question. Yes, you have to rebuild. This team is a disaster. You're not winning with this team. You got to get rid of everyone and get rid of. You don't want A.J. Dillon. You get rid of Jones, get rid of Moss, get rid of Woods. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you're going to get for Samuel or Gallup. Just rebuild.
Probably, I probably hang on to Gallup here. I'm not sure you'll be able to get enough for him that, next year, maybe when he signs somewhere else, maybe he'll get a little bit of a bump. Yeah,
Gallup isn't really someone I'm looking to move.
But Aaron Jones, Travis Etienne, hang on to him. But no, I don't do this deal. I don't know how you feel about it, Tyler, but offered A.J. Dillon for a second. That second is
not help.
Yeah, you don't want to trade your picks.
You don't want to do this. So you don't want to trade for running backs. Trade away Aaron Jones. You don't want A.J. Dillon. Try to do it in reverse. Trade Aaron Jones to the person who has A.J. Dillon. How about that instead?
Taylor wants to know what excites you because T. Higgins is exciting.
I mean, doing this show excites me. People in the chat excite me.
Josh, he doesn't do the scheduling, so you got to get with G and J.
Tell Jay to call me then.
That's your guy. Get on to him. Get on. He's got to have Tyler on. Josh. Come on.
I'm me.
Wessel says Marquez Callaway sell high with all the wide receiver one buzz.
I mean, sure.
What are you getting for him though? I guess I don't know anybody trading a lot for Callaway.
I would still try. I always sell players like this. Usually works out. Sometimes you get Darnell Mooney and you're wrong. But
Wessel, if you're still watching this, give me an example. Give us an example of somebody that you are you would potentially sell Marquez Callaway for.
Sure.
Visca was sold for a 2022 first and a 2023 second 4 hours ago in one of Avocado Jones's leagues. So you're hitting home.
Too pricey.
You are hitting home right there.
Too pricey. Even if Visca hits, he's not going to be worth much more than a single first. So, I mean, what's Visca's ceiling? Wide receiver 15? At best.
Yeah, man, that Jackson.
I just don't think that Visca's ever going to be a wide receiver one in fantasy. I just don't think so. So, what's his ceiling? Like his value ceiling in Superflex is that offer. So you're paying for the ceiling that he may or may not hit. I'm kind of not there. And if that 2022 first ends up being early and you gave up Sam Howell or Spencer Rattler for Visca, you're going to be in tears.
What about a one QB league?
You're going to be crying.
Would you do this in a one QB league?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so
might do a 2022 first alone, but I'm probably not adding a second to that either.
Oh, so if you had Visca, you would do it for the first?
What do you mean?
So if you had Laviska Shenault, you would sell him for a 2022 first in a one QB league?
It's about even. I'd probably take Visca because one QB, I'm not as worried.
I have a league where I'm rebuilding, and I'm actually debating this right now because whether or not I want to sell Visca for a first next year.
I think in a one QB league, this is the kind of thing I would need. I'd want a first and a second to sell it.
Yeah. I agree. Open 24 hours. Hey. What's up there, party people? What's up, Open 24 hours? If you missed it, it's Taco Tuesday. TACO Tyler and Cal. On Tuesdays, we're going to make that a thing, even if Tyler doesn't like it. Fantasy Condo, what are some potential player targets that you would request in a trade offer for Daryl Henderson? 10-team, half PPR Dynasty League. It's a good hair day. Must not be any blizzards imminent.
Actually, there could be blizzards, but that's a whole story. I don't know. I mean, for Daryl Henderson, can I get Elijah Moore? How about that?
Yeah. Elijah Moore. What about Rondale Moore?
Sure. I like it.
Let's look at wide receivers that might be. What about Laviska Shenault? Would you trade him for?
Oh, yeah. Shenault? Yeah, easily.
So let's go down. Okay. How about this? With the news today, what if you could trade Daryl Henderson and get Rashad Bateman?
You still can't.
No?
I would, but you still can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, there's a lot of interesting players like kind of around that same
there are
point. We talked about Debo a little bit already. Yeah, Michael Gallup, that's too low. So yeah, that's
too low. Yeah,
the Elijah Moore thing, that's probably right on.
It's who I'd want. Yeah.
Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, somebody in that range.
Elijah Moore, I just feel is gonna be that dude.
Me too. Really do. That's the kind of buzz you want to hear and you read about, and you listen to the beat reporters, you follow them, and just every day he does something special that you love every day.
I know. It's one of those things where I want to rank him higher, even higher than I have him now.
Do it. Okay. Todd, if you think that it's a good chance to sell, that your first will be late, where starting QBs won't be available to draft, is it okay to trade for a future stud wide receiver?
Specific offer. Like, give me the specific offer. In some cases, yes. Laviska Shenault is not a stud. So right. In that case, no. I would want someone who's actually a stud. So give me an example.
Okay, how about your boy Chase Claypool?
If my team were good, I would do it. A single first only, nothing added.
Brandon
I would
Ayuk?
do it for Higgins too. Just a first with nothing added. If my team were good, if my team were bad, I still wouldn't do it.
How about Brandon Ayuk?
Yes.
Jerry Jeudy?
That's right on the line. If my team has to be very good to want to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, that's kind of that line right there. Anything above that, there's the Chris Godwins, Allen Robinson, DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'll take all of them.
Yeah. Even what about like a DeAndre Hopkins? What about something like that?
I mean,
your team would have to be real close to make that move, huh?
If you're a contender, and you can get Hopkins for that, that's a good value. But you have to know what you're doing. You understand what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, on any contender, I would take DeAndre Hopkins for a 2022 first. Yes, if that's what you're asking.
I think we're going to reach our first opportunity to use
the
our
better
favorite...
question is, would I take Keenan Allen?
Oh, let's get rid of this. Keenan Allen.
Because that's actually a question. We all know that DeAndre Hopkins is worth more than a 2022 first. Keenan Allen is not as clear.
I got 2 firsts for him in a league and a 1 QB.
Well, okay, that's a lot. But
yeah,
in a Superflex, if I were one piece away from winning, I'd consider sending my 2022 first for Keenan Allen.
Me too. You ready for your favorite word? Do you see Denzel Mims turning things around or sell now to get someone like James Conner?
Denzel Minimal? Denzel Minimal.
It's pretty good.
Or as we can call him, Denzel Failure. Do I see Denzel Mims turning things around? No. Denzel Mims is going to be in a different line of employment in the near future. No, I don't see him turning it around. He's terrible. He was listed as a backup. He's running with the 6th string at this point. I mean, no, he's not turning it around. Get someone like Connor. That's a ridiculous proposition. You can't do that. You can't get Connor for Denzel Mims anymore. That time was a long time ago. Long time ago. You can't do that. So please do it if you can, but you can't. You can't. Denzel Mims has no value. You know, to give you an idea, I mean, right now I have Denzel Mims. Yes, he's sitting in an interesting sandwich between Rashad Penny and Phillip Lindsay. That's where Denzel Mims is. And just two spots above Jamison Crowder, and that may not last very long if his camp performance continues, because Jamison Crowder's it looks like they want to run Davis in the X, Moore at the Z, and Crowder in the slot. That would not be, well, to be fair, they listed Cole as one of their starters. Just another indignity. He's not even losing out to the rookie Moore. Mims is behind Cole. Another disaster. So Denzel Mims is not turning it around. He's a bust. Move on.
I just used the DLF trade finder to find a couple of examples. You never know with some of these leagues exactly, you know, all the details.
People make dumb trades all the time. I mean, we know that.
Denzel Mims for a 2023 second round. That's a smash.
Oh,
definitely
I'll take
do that.
Any second.
Mims and a third for Melvin Gordon.
I'm not really interested in Melvin Gordon, but if you're a desperate contender, I guess. Yeah. More of a lack of interest in Gordon than anything else. But sure, I suppose.
I can see it. What about Denzel Mims and Marcus Mariota for Jordan Love and Quintez Cephas?
I love. I want love by a lot over those two pieces, even without Cephas.
Yeah. That's pretty much Mims and Gabe Davis for Deebo Samuel.
Oh, Deebo Samuel. What kind of trade is that?
That's basically Deebo for Gabe Davis, I guess.
It's Deebo for nothing.
Give me Deebo.
No. This is Denzel Mims is a joke. I mean, you know, I heard some people saying he doesn't fit the offense. If he were good, he would fit the offense. That's the thing. If he were good, he would fit the offense. Good receivers would fit in the offense. The reason he doesn't fit the offense is because he's terrible. That's why he doesn't fit the offense.
Yeah. Good receivers, coaches change the offense to fit around them.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what they do. Bad receivers get released. I actually think there's a decent chance that Denzel Mims does not make the team.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I'm a little nervous he lands here in New Orleans, but we'll see.
Well, he would be a downgrade. I think he would be a downgrade. I think he would be a downgrade from Marquez Callaway. I think he would provide interesting competition for Traquan Smith as the possible second receiver.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
No, you don't want him. I mean, Denzel Mims is just going to, every snap he takes is going to set the offense back. The Saints should trade for Tim Patrick for like the 100th time.
They're just not going to.
They're stupid. They're stupid.
Can do whatever he wants.
Incompetent. They're incompetent if they don't trade for somebody, because Marcus Callaway, whatever he is, he's completely unproven. They need to trade for Tim Patrick, and they need to get their act together. Trade for Zach Pascal. There's another example. James Washington in the chat, another example. Those three players, wide receiver 4 on their team, would become the wide receiver 1 on this team. They need to do something. If they're serious about contending, they should make a move. That's what smart organizations and smart GMs do, and they are not doing that right now. They're going to be a disaster if they continue on their current course.
They're not going to. Number one, they've known about the Michael Thomas injury since June and have done nothing. So
then they're stupid. They're stupid and incompetent, like I've been saying the whole time. The whole time, when you don't prepare the offense to play well, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad with Jameis Winston. It's going to be bad if it's Taysom Hill. It's going to be bad either way. They are unprepared for this season, completely unprepared.
By the way, this is reminding me of, I loved watching last week with Addison here and you going off about how much you hate Juju. and him just like sitting.
He didn't know what to do. He didn't know. He was not prepared for that.
He was not prepared
know.
for the Juju Smith poopster rant or whatever you went on.
Smith Pooster. I stole Antonio Brown's nickname.
Wow. Lamar Gaming. Hey fellas, how did I do? I sold Nick Chubb and a second for Najee Harris.
I mean, it's fine, but I think with Chubb's extension, you could have probably done better than that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing this deal. As much as I love Najee, I don't think I'm giving up Chubb plus.
I'd probably prefer not to. I have Najee ranked above Chubb in Dynasty, but that's mostly because of the age.
But if I had Najee, this is what it would take.
I just think that Chubb's value is high. I agree that selling Chubb is the move, but I just think he can do better than this. I think you should strive higher. Like, I think you should be getting DeAndre Swift plus for Nick Chubb, not adding to Chubb to get Najee. Like, maybe you could even get lucky and do something. There is a world, this world exists, where you can get Jamar Chase and a first for Nick Chubb. How about that world? Like, or if you can't do that, there are other universes in which you can get like J.K. Dobbins and another piece for Chubb. Instead of adding to Chubb to get Najee, why not get someone else and something on top? This isn't a fine deal, but I just think you can do better with a high valued asset like Chubb than this.
Yep. What about like maybe something with DeAndre Swift? It seems like there's a lot of people down on him right now.
I mean, you could. I think that I have Swift ranked higher than Chubb, but I think you can get Swift plus for a Chubb.
Right.
And I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather get Swift plus than add to Chubb to get Najee.
Definitely some interesting trades in here involving Nick Chubb. One of them has Nick Patrick in it. But
Nick Patrick? You mean Tim Patrick?
Tim Patrick. What did I say? Nick Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah. Tim Patrick. Nick Chubb and Tim Patrick for Miles Sanders and a 2022 first.
Okay. Well,
take on the Chubb side.
If I have Chubb, I'm not giving him up for that.
No.
And if I have Miles Sanders, I'm not giving that up for Chubb. It's one of those trades where I hate both sides completely. So I'm not doing that deal. If I have Chubb, I want to make a different deal. If I have the Miles Sanders side, that's not what I'm doing with it either. So I'm not a fan of that trade at all.
Sometimes these things line up perfectly. Nick Chubb and Denzel Mims for Antonio Gibson and a 2022 second.
Second's on the wrong side. A Gibson side.
Interesting.
Gibson side.
Yeah, I like it. Josh would rather have Deebo Samuel than Brandon Ayuk at their ADP.
I just think that Deebo is not going to be what you want.
I want the better player.
Brandon Ayuk is a far better player.
Yeah. Yeah. Ed is right on the money here where he says the time to sell Denzel Mims was a month ago.
I've been saying it for 3 months. It was a long time ago.
So why? You want to go into why? Like what was it?
Well, I mean, this news about them not liking him is not new.
Right.
It's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Some news today, Lamar Gaming. He says, who wins the job, Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater? Drew Lock is going to start the first week.
Lock will win the job.
Yeah, I think he's going to win the job too. Teddy's competent. I don't think there's anything wrong with Teddy Bridgewater, but I think they want to figure out what they've got with Lock. And look, if Teddy has pushed him to the point where like he's improving, then Teddy's doing his job. I think that's why he was brought in the first place.
I mean, Teddy's going to start preseason week 2, so the competition's still open.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Lock.
I think it's going to be Lock. I don't think this was a real competition. I think this is like the Trubisky-Foles situation from last year, where it wasn't really a fair competition. Trubisky was always going to start.
Sure.
And I think that it's going to be horrible. I think it's going to be a disaster. I think that Lock is just incompetent.
Yeah, Josh has the worst spot to be in Dynasty is in the middle of the pack.
Very true.
you don't get those high draft picks, and you don't win titles.
Well, I mean, that's true. Yeah, you don't want to be there.
No doubt. McCat Attack. I guess it's
Mac
McCat
Attack.
Attack.
Mac
He's a great
Attack,
name.
bro. It's just Mac Attack.
I kind of like McCat Attack.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make it up as I go here. Hey
Yes.
guys, loving your show for another week. Tuning in from Australia. What's up? International. We're international now, Tyler. We appreciate it. Dylan says, are Trey Lance and Justin Fields top 10 dynasty quarterbacks right now?
Yes.
Okay. Who are your top 10? Let's go.
We want to read them.
Yes.
All right.
Pat
Fine.
Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson,
Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Dak,
Justin Herbert.
Herbert, Lawrence, Burrow, Fields, Lance.
Okay. No Russell Wilson.
No.
He would be just outside of that, I guess.
11.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that really is the point right there. Yeah. I
It's a
agree
big
with you.
drop
Top
after
10.
that.
Yeah. Because after that, then according to ADP, you get to like Jalen Hurts and Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Stafford, Tua, your favorite, Tua.
I have Tannehill at 12.
Speaking of somebody that maybe we should be adjusting to, how about Tua, huh?
Did you pay attention to my recent tweets?
No, I didn't. I didn't see
You
it.
didn't pay attention. So
I haven't opened up Twitter in a while.
you haven't opened it. So there was
I've
the
been
one
buried.
where the whole point of this, there was the one where I said that Tua was rising up my rankings because he actually looks good in camp. He actually looks like he's healthy. He didn't look healthy in minicamp. He didn't look healthy, but now something has changed. Now he looks healthy. So something happened between June and July. In the last month, he seemingly has miraculously recovered, and now he looks fine. So I don't know what happened in the last month, but something happened. So now he looks healthy. If he's healthy, then he has upside. His arm looks healthy too. I don't know what was wrong with his arm before, but it looks good now.
Marquez Callaway or the 2022 second?
Oh, he'll never be worth a 2022 second. So, I mean, Darnell Mooney is barely worth a 2022 second now, and that's his upside. So, 2022 second.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from Callaway, but I mean, you also remember that, like, unless it's Marcus Lattimore lining up, like the Saints secondary is not very good. So when you hear good reports, sometimes that is just the defense on the other side is not very good.
Okay, so right now, how many wide receivers in the top 100 of ADP are not day one or day two picks? How many do you think?
What you mean as far as like in the real NFL
Yeah,
draft?
how many of them?
2 picks?
Yeah, how many of them? How many of them do you think there are?
In the top 100?
Top 100 of 1 QB ADP. Top 100 players, not wide receivers.
Okay, so everyone from Michael Gallup, wide receiver 48 wide receivers in that top 100.
Right. How many of them do you think are not day one or day two picks?
Oh gosh, it can't be many.
I'm pretty sure it's 2.
So Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill's 3. So Tyreek Hill, Adam Thielen.
And Adam
I think
Thielen.
that's it.
Yeah, I'm looking through. I don't
And like of those 3, Adam Thielen is the one that's the Marquez Callaway. That's what you're hoping for. Because Tyreek Hill was a first-round talent who dropped because of off-the-field issues. And Stephon Diggs was a massive miss was very good, massive miss. So Adam Thielen is the path. He's the one who did it. So the road is very thin. So yeah, take a second. A second is good. I would even take a third at this point for Marquez Callaway. I'm fine with that. Less I just hold.
Let's stick with the Saints and talk about Michael Thomas because this is definitely something that, there's a lot of talk about this for sure. So let's get a little bit more specific on him and what kind of trades you would do. So we've talked about you're done with him.
I'm tired of Michael Thomas. I'm tired of Michael Thomas.
So what is a trade if you've got somebody in your Patreon, for instance, who's asking you for, hey, what do I do about Michael
I've had to talk about this many times.
What are you advising right now?
Get rid of him immediately.
4?
Well, I mean, I try to get the most you can.
So
Right?
I'm looking through Michael Thomas or Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith by a lot.
Okay.
That's what I'd love to do. I mean, if you're a contender and you're a rebuild, it's two different things, right? I mean, if you're in a rebuild, you shouldn't have had Michael Thomas already. You should have already sold him. So, you must not have been listening to me already if you're in that position. That position you should not be in. But if you're somehow there, I mean, Devonta Smith or Jaylen Waddle would be my first choice. That's what I would like to do. I don't think you can, but that's what I would like to do. That would be my first choice if I'm in a rebuild, to move off of Thomas for Smith or Waddle is what I would do. I think you can't get Jerry Jeudy anymore. That was when the news came out, that was my original goal, was to get Jerry Jeudy. I think that we're past that. You can't get him. Now I think you're on Smith or Waddle as your best case if you're a rebuilder and you have Thomas.
Would you trade him for Tyler Lockett?
Well, if you're in a rebuild, that accomplishes nothing. So no.
Then you're a contender then. Yeah.
If you're a contender and you're in a win now window and this is it, I'm okay trading him for Tyler Lockett.
How about, would you do this in a rebuild? Michael Thomas for Trey Sermon, Diami Brown, and a 2022 third.
And no. And Trey Sermon is worth more on his own. We don't need an and.
Okay. All right.
Well, yes.
Good.
I love Diami Brown. So yes.
Michael Thomas or Kenny Galladay?
Oh man. I mean, Kenny Galladay is also hurt. And who knows when he's going to come back. Right. I have Michael Thomas ranked higher. And unlike Tyler Lockett, I'm not as confident in Kenny Galladay anymore coming back. So I don't know what that is going to accomplish. They're also similar ages. So if I'm a rebuild, that doesn't accomplish anything. That's not what I would really look to do.
Ed is in agreement. Sell Callaway for
a second is his value ceiling, unless he's Stephon Diggs, really. Or Adam Thielen. Someone in the chat mentioned Doug Baldwin, but we're talking about examples now. Doug Baldwin is a good past example.
Sure. Yeah, I was looking at the DLF's ADP from the most recent one here.
Yeah, we're talking about examples that were there now. Of course, there have been some over the years, but usually at any given time, there's 3 to 5 total.
Right.
And not all of them are that high. Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill came out a long time ago. Where are the guys in the 2020 class, the 2021 class, the 2019 class, 2018 class, who from the later rounds? There aren't any. There are none.
Hey, speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about a guy, there's some buzz now because he hurdled a guy and punted a football, Amon St. Brown. He's a day 3 guy.
Yes, he is.
Could he get into that realm where we're excited about him and he's a top 100 dynasty asset?
Yes.
I agree.
He reminds me of Stephon. He reminds me of Stephon Diggs. Misdrafted. Misdrafted. I mean, if you remember, during the draft season, we were live. I forget how much of the show you were there for, but we were live. I was live, and I was saying the Titans. This was before, obviously, trade for Julio Jones. They should have picked Amon-Ra St. Brown. I thought he would be a perfect complement for A.J. Brown. I thought that would be a great idea. And I criticized a lot of the teams in the 3rd round for passing on him because I thought he was the best receiver on the board. Him and Tylan Wallace, passed on. 2 players I was very interested in. So I think that was a misdraft. So I think it's possible. Whereas, guys like Adam Thielen and Doug Baldwin were not missed on. They were bad college profiles that happened to work out later. That happens sometimes. So it's typically either just a guy who becomes magically good in the NFL, off-field issue like Tyreek Hill, or somewhat Preston Williams a little bit was another one, or just a misdraft. Stephon Diggs is a misdraft. I think Amon-Ra would be in that category, someone who was just misdrafted. He didn't really have red flags, Amon-Ra, right? I mean, not really. Did he? I don't think so. Cal has left me alone. Okay. Well, until Cal gets back, I don't know where he was in the questions. I'd like to remind people that, take a second. If you put in a super chat, if you donate money to us, it goes to support the site, and we appreciate it, and we will answer your question immediately. We'll answer the question immediately. So that's one thing I want to remind people of. Please, if you're watching, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like the video, all of that. It helps, just like the super chats. And that's most of what, I don't know what is going on with Cal. The people got to hear me beg for money.
Oh, good. Storm outside of my house knocked me out for just a minute. Sorry about that.
There's a storm here. Yeah, there's a storm, but this is New York City, so the power doesn't go out very often here.
Yeah, but I'm back. And so as I get myself all the way fully back set up, keep begging for money or whatever you're doing there.
Yeah, send us the super chats, please. They make me happy.
DJ Moore. Is DJ Moore a hold?
Yes.
You buying?
I mean, yes, I'm buying. I am buying.
Okay. What are you buying DJ Moore for?
I don't know. What's he cost?
I can look up some trades as I get myself all the way back set up. But yeah, like DJ Moore, what are your expectations for him? I mean, obviously Terrace Marshall is coming up. Sam Darnold there, who is, can be back and forth, I guess. But yeah, DJ Moore has the potential. I mean, he's 24 years old? What's his birthday?
DJ Moore? Mm-hmm. April 97. I don't know the date.
That's pretty good. That's right, based on your history. Going off the board right now, wide receiver in that wide receiver 2 range. Nothing else? Okay.
I mean, what else is there?
Wants to trade up. What would be worth dropping from number 6 to number 12? 12 team, 1 QB. I assume this is a startup, Pete Uthar. Is that right?
That's a good question, actually. Probably
it's not a redraft. I'm hoping it's a startup Dynasty league.
Yeah, we'll see.
If it is, this is exactly what I like to do. I like to trade down like this.
So do I. I mean, I just
future assets.
Look, I just feel that I'm looking at my 1 QB rankings, right? I'm looking at them, and realistically, after Christian McCaffrey, how big is the difference really between like Jonathan Taylor and like Stephon Diggs? There's a difference, but it feels like the difference isn't as much as a whole round at the beginning of a draft. It just feels like the top of the draft is a little bit much. I mean, look, you can get Terry McLaurin two rounds after Stephon Diggs. Just kind of feels like the value's in the 3rd and the 4th round. So I like trading down a lot, personally. In Superflex, you're muted. In Superflex, it's different.
Yeah.
I want the top quarterback, so that changes my entire strategy. In 1 QB, I love trading down. If I can't get Christian McCaffrey, maybe Jonathan Taylor. I don't really. I mean, I like Justin Jefferson, but I'd rather pick him at 8 than 3, which is why I have him ranked.
Great question, Pete Uthar. And hi, Vinny. What's up, Vinny? Appreciate your question. And if you're like Vinny and you have a question that you want us to answer, make sure you go ahead and get that in there. He asked, in a keeper league, 2-round keep penalty, should I keep Ridley and give up a 2nd, JT and give up a 3rd, or Justin Jefferson in the 10th?
Oh, Jefferson in the 10th.
Yeah.
Jefferson in the 10th.
Yeah. I mean, JT in the 3rd is good value, but yeah.
Ridley in the 2nd is out of the Ridley in the 2nd is out of the question. JT in the 3rd, maybe before all the bad things started happening in Indianapolis, that would be a consideration in a redraft keeper style. But At this point, no. Now it's Jefferson in the 10th by a lot.
Me Sports Fan 101, Mike Davis and James Robinson for the 105.
Mike, it's not fair. It's 105 by a lot.
So the 105, if we're saying a super flex.
Right, in a super flex, this trade is a joke.
It's a joke. Javonte Williams is basically who we would be looking at if it was.
And that's still a joke.
And you want Javonte Williams, no doubt.
It's still a joke. So.
And if you luck into it being, Pitts or Chase or somebody like that falling to 105, then, you stole him. So, what type of league? But it really doesn't matter. You want the 105.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to get his 512. Okay, this is going back to that previous question. Ryan finally caught the show live. Welcome, Ryan. Glad you caught it live. And I'm glad you check it out when it's not live too, which happens a lot. And if you're watching this that way, make sure you go ahead and leave us some comments so we can get to your questions as well. If you were in a win now team, or if you had a win now team, Justin Jefferson or Stephon Diggs and a second and third.
I mean,
12-team Superflex.
Man, it's not enough.
To get Jefferson?
No, to give up Jefferson.
Mm.
I won't do it. I'll take the Jefferson side.
Yeah, Jefferson's I know is your number one receiver.
Diggs is on the value cliff too.
He's 27. You're definitely buying his career.
I'll take Jefferson.
Diggs is going as the wide receiver 6 right now. Yeah, 27 years old. But
honestly,
man, Josh Allen for the next 3 years.
I kind of feel that Justin Jefferson has what Stephon Diggs did last year ahead of him in his career. To be honest, that's what I think you're buying, and you're buying 6 years younger. I can't do it.
I don't know if I'm going to win now. I'm trying to trade away Justin Jefferson.
No, I think he's going to be a wide receiver 1. Why would I want to trade? He was wide receiver 1 last year.
Yeah. 22 years old.
Can't do it. I love Justin Jefferson. You just don't trade players like that. You don't trade cornerstone young wide receivers like that. That's just bad business.
I love Diggs, but I think honestly, I think Diggs is great in Dynasty, even though he's 27. Next 3 years, I think he's as likely as anyone to have the most targets over the course of the next 3 seasons. But I'm not trading away a 22-year-old phenom like Jefferson unless I'm getting a lot back.
Yeah.
Josh likes what you were saying about Chubb.
That was a while ago, but yes.
Out of context, that's weird, Josh. Give us some context. Henry, lots of experts saying do not draft Swift this year, and now he has a groin issue. And redraft, are you out on Swift as a mid to late 3rd round pick in a 12-team PPR?
Compared to who?
Let's say 3rd round pick. We're talking redraft. That's who would be going in that range? Let's say J.K. Dobbins. Let's say Javonte Williams.
Swift.
That's too low. Okay. I haven't done redraft in a while. Let's see. How about Aaron Jones? Joe Mixon. Miles Sanders.
Not Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was just re-ranked in my redraft rankings.
Oh, yeah? You want to give us a sneak peek?
Yes, he is now down to... He's dropped an entire tier, and now he's down to running back 20.
Ooh. How about would you rather have him in redraft or Travis Etienne?
Swift.
Yeah. I need to go look up and see how
I'm still setting running back 16.
I'm still setting up all my windows here.
Running back 16 in redraft. But if Tariq Cohen does not come back imminently David Montgomery is going to pass him. David Montgomery is rising in all my rankings.
I wouldn't expect to see Swift in the preseason. I think there's still enough time for him to get back and this not bother him at all. It's a groin injury. Not that I'm a doctor.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that Montgomery is rising.
Sure.
In my rankings, and if it's going to continue, I think.
Jazz won some titles from the middle of pack records, though. That's true. It just depends on what your team is. It's just that, it's that middle of the pack where you got some dominant teams, and you don't want to finish as that fifth, sixth team.
No, you don't.
Mark Kamen, thank you for the question. Appreciate you putting that in there. 12 team, 1 QB was offered Javonte Williams, Joe Burrow, and a second for Michael Carter, Elijah Moore, and Brian Edwards.
Okay.
Except, or am I missing something?
No, it's Javonte.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything. I love Elijah Moore, but you're not missing anything.
Yeah, even the 1 QB, that's the side that I want, no doubt.
Javonte's worth more than the entire other side. So, yeah.
Are you big on Brian Edwards?
Sure, but Javonte's worth more than the entire other side, whether I'm big on Brian Edwards or not.
The next TO?
I don't think so.
I'm selling Edwards. I don't let
sell him. I'll buy him.
Yep. Usually requires. I'm not. This is.
I don't know what that means.
Antonio
that was a while ago. He's not in the top 100 now.
Yep.
And neither is Doug Baldwin.
Dylan says, about what value would you be willing to add to JT to get Kyler in a 12-team Superflex?
But you cannot buy Kyler. Hey, you're wasting your time. Nobody's gonna sell him.
Yeah.
You'd have to add a first, and I'm not going to. So this trade won't happen. You'd need to add a first to do it, though. The Kyler manager is not going to take less.
Yeah, you'd have to. No doubt. Jamie, contender with Michael Thomas. He can't go lower than he's valued right now.
True. That's very much not true.
Might as well take the production next couple seasons.
No, it can't go lower than he's valued now, really. Why do you say that? He's 28. He is now coming off another injury. Why can't OBJ is valued lower than Thomas is now?
That's what I was thinking about.
Right.
Think about Odell.
So you say he can't go any lower, but if he sat out the whole season, you think his value wouldn't go down more? If he didn't play any games in 2020, you think his value would hold at what it is now? I don't think so. I think it would go down more. So I vehemently disagree with that. I think people this is, by the way, this is what people tell me. They're wrong, but this is what people tell me is that his value can't go down more. They're wrong. They're just wrong. If he doesn't play any games in 2021, his value is going to go down more. You can have your head in the sand, but you're just not right. So I strongly disagree. What production are you getting from OBJ the next 2 seasons? A wide receiver 3, that's what he was in 2019. That's what he was in 2020 before he went out. What if MT is just never that guy again? And if you're getting wide receiver 3-ish production, high-end wide receiver 3 production, which is what OBJ gave you, it's not like he has a good quarterback.
Depends on where he plays next. I don't think he's playing.
I don't think he's playing any more snaps here. I think he's done here. I think it's going to be another location. But that's a 29. Great. He doesn't play in 2020. A 29-year-old wide receiver coming off 2 injuries, now on a new team.
Yeah.
Are we excited about that? We want that player?
No.
I sure don't. So I strongly disagree that his value can't go lower. It most certainly can.
Oh, no, Mike, it was on the clock. We probably missed this, Mike, but who would you have told him to go with? DeAndre Swift or Josh Jacobs?
Swift.
Yeah, me too.
This is what you use the super chat for.
Yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, we go in order. First questions first. But if you do a super chat, we'll go to your question immediately.
Doesn't have to be much.
It really doesn't.
No. Yeah, Josh got the Tyler show there for a little while. That was nice.
But the funny thing is I've tried to do the Tyler show and it doesn't work. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to just see me talk to myself. So doesn't really work.
Some people want that.
Nobody wants that.
Let's see. So Henry, last year this time, who'd you have ranked higher, Jefferson or Rager?
Rager. So we all make mistakes, right? I mean, like nobody's perfect. Oop.
But like it honestly it made a lot of sense last year. Yeah, like if you look at all the details, it made a lot of sense to be high on Rager. But
whoops.
Yeah, that happens.
What do you want me to do? By the way, it's not like I changed it when Jefferson wasn't doing well in camp. I had Rager ranked higher from the beginning. So, and Rager was doing really well in camp and Jefferson was struggling, but I had Rager higher from the start.
Yeah, Rager got hurt. There was just
that was later.
Well.
That was like 3 weeks from now. Oops.
Was it? Did he play he played in week 1?
He did, but his injury was late. Rager's injury was late. Remember, there was no preseason, so the timeline is difficult to follow.
That's true.
But it was late. It wasn't August 10th. I think it was like August 20th. But so he made it back for week 1, and then he got hurt again.
He did play in the first 2 weeks. Got 4 targets in each game.
Look, you know what? And this brings me to another thing that I always want to talk about. Every analyst makes mistakes, right? The problem is that some people, they just pretend that those didn't happen. They just delete their old tweets of everything that they said that was wrong and quote tweet everything they said that was correct. So then they just pretend that they got everything right. They're always right about everything, right? You should follow those analysts. Follow them. The ones that just say that they're always right. They must be great, right? Because they're right about everything. Nobody's right about everything. You know, if you're right 60% of the time in this industry, that's like a miracle. 60, 65% is a miracle to be that far over average against consensus. That would be a miracle. So even the best analysts are going to get 35 to 40% of stuff wrong. So just keep that in mind. It's not perfect. And also a lot of what I offer is not player eval anyway. It's strategy. It's the practical side. That's why we do this show. A lot of it is to help you with the practical side of managing your dynasty teams and how to do those little things, how to manage waiver wire, how to talk about trades, that kind of stuff that you won't get just from following people on Twitter.
That's 100% true. And you're going to make bad draft picks. You're going to make bad trades. Like those things are absolutely 100% going to happen. You're going to wish you had taken Jefferson over a Rager or, whatever.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
But like,
it's going to happen too.
Yeah. Like that's what we work through. Like you're not going to get 100% of the time. Like
but there are people who pretend that every call they made was right. That everything they said was correct. And they just forget about all the times they were wrong. And they just pretend those didn't happen. Like, I think that the people watching this show know better than that.
Yeah.
I think you guys know better. You know that not everything I say is right. I'm going to make a mistake here and there. It's going to happen. And, I just hope that you know that I'm always doing my best to provide the best dynasty analyst I can. I work hard doing this. But
you
can work as hard as you want. And sometimes there's going to be things that are wrong. And, that's when you make a mistake, you have to look back at it, right? I mean, you look back and it's kind of like, was it a process mistake or was it just a whiff and not a big deal and you just move on? The Rager over Jefferson one, I think, was somewhat of a process mistake. That's something I've incorporated more. The fact that Jefferson's college production was a lot better should have factored in more than it did. Rager's college profile was like screamed bust, and I don't know what part of me just ignored it. So whoops. But you work on that and you improve. I made another mistake with Chase Claypool, like missing on the athleticism. Again, work that into my process this year. If you don't learn from your, I would do a whole series on this too. I have articles about, the mistakes I've made in the past. So if you're not learning, you're not making any progress, right?
Yeah. Gosh, I still do hold out some hope for Rager and for some of these guys.
Hold out hope for Rager, but that's not the point.
Yeah, especially when there's some injury, when you can talk yourself into it injury-wise.
He wasn't good, though. He wasn't good in the snaps he had. He wasn't good winning on the routes he ran. He wasn't good.
No, one time he went in double digits in PPR.
I think it was 1% first percentile in like winning routes on reception perception. It was really bad. It was really bad.
If he was hurt, that would make sense, right?
It was so bad that I don't care how hurt he was. There's just I think Rager's a bust, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's true, even though I liked him a lot last year. And Jefferson, they were like, all the talk was like, BC Johnson is going to play over him. You know,
yeah.
Like,
I think the miss on Jefferson happened way before
Jefferson
that,
last year.
Yeah,
kind of like Chase, like where they're talking about Chase can't get separation. Like, don't fade Chase because of that.
But we knew that already.
Yeah, that's in his profile, no doubt.
We knew
but he
that
wins anyway. Elite body control.
Look, I mean, how much separation did Des Bryant get?
Yeah. It's not like Hopkins. Hopkins is similar.
Is Hopkins an elite separator?
No. Over 4 hours, traded Jefferson and got Calvin Ridley and a first in Superflex.
I like that better. I like that better with a first. I like it better with a first because Ridley and Diggs are kind of similar to me in value. I like it better with a first. I'd probably do that. I'd probably take the first with Ridley.
I like that better too. Kyle says should have traded Juju and OBJ when they were first round startup picks.
Yeah, but if you traded OBJ in 2014, it wouldn't have gone very well, right? You would have missed out on 2015 and 2016. So, of course, in hindsight, you can always say that, but sometimes that doesn't work out.
Yeah, I don't think we can just have like a blanket, like every time someone becomes a first rounder, we trade him. Because
no,
like,
I wouldn't say
was a generational type talent. Like he was like really, really, really good.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey has hung on in his spot at the top for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, someone has to rank in the first round.
Caleb asked, thank you for the question. Caleb, is Jaylen Waddle going to be a serviceable wide receiver 3 this season?
Yes.
I think so too. I'm excited about Waddle.
Maybe not right away, but I think that by the time you get to the back half of the season, he will be.
Yeah.
So at some point, yes.
Gosh, you try not to overreact to clips and overreact to certain things, but like there's a lot to like about Waddle's profile, even if you don't overreact to clips.
It's not Waddle. It's Tua playing better.
Yeah.
Nothing about my opinion of Waddle has changed. The main thing that's changed about Waddle is that Fuller is nowhere to be found, and Tua is playing better. Not that anything about my opinion of Waddle himself has changed.
Henry has DeAndre Swift at 15, JK at 16.
And I have them at 16 and 15, the exact reverse of what he has. So literally the same, just one spot off.
Ryan, thank you for your question. Ryan, in a 10-team Superflex startup, are you okay doing RB from the start at the 201?
I mean, probably not.
I'm assuming this is like the 110 and 201. I'm assuming that's what he means.
Yeah, I assume that's what he means. Probably not. I doubt it.
I'm okay with it.
Well, I just cannot imagine that that's going to be what I do.
No, it's got to be the right two, I guess, to fall. And
what two is that going to be?
Well, so 10-team Superflex, like as you've said a bunch of times on here, quarterback is not as valuable in 10-team leagues.
Right, but there's only 2 running backs that are worth that pick for me.
Only 2? Like, okay, who?
Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor might be there right now.
Right, but CMC won't be.
Yeah.
Like my ideal start in a 10-team Superflex, I'm not as worried about quarterback. I would take one of the 7 studs if they were there, but it's possible none of them are. I mean, my ideal start would probably be a quarterback and Jonathan Taylor. Like, I think I'd be hoping for Justin Herbert and Jonathan Taylor. I think that would be my first choice.
Yeah.
My best case scenario at 110, 201. More likely, it's probably Trevor Lawrence and Jonathan Taylor.
Tyler, please share your thoughts on David Montgomery's rise in value.
I just shared them. I just shared them. It's because Tariq Cohen is nowhere to be found. He's still on the PUP list. If he's still on the PUP list, then Montgomery has a better chance at receiving work. That's all it is.
Could Damian Williams fill that same role?
A little, but I'd much rather just not have Tariq Cohen there.
Mm-hmm.
So a little. That's why David. Look, I don't think they want David Montgomery to be a 3-down back. But if Tariq Cohen's not there, it does help. But if you notice, I'm not making David Montgomery running back 11. I think that, I've moved him into the tier in redraft with CEH, Dobbins, Swift, and him. And ahead of the tier that includes, Carson, Sanders, or Jacobs and Sanders. Because I think that Montgomery now has more upside than those players. But I'm not going to put him in the group with like Mixon and Gibson and Jones. That's a higher group for me. So even if everything goes, and I'll probably keep CEH ahead of him no matter what, just because CEH plays for the Chiefs. So I think in redraft, Montgomery's upside for me in rankings is RB15. He could pass Swift if the news on Swift continues to be bad. And he could pass Dobbins if the news that Edwards is going to get significant work continues. And the preseason looks like Edwards is getting a majority of carries somehow. But I don't think he'll pass CEH. So, but in Dynasty, I'm not moving Montgomery up that much just because I really just don't think Montgomery is all that great. And I just don't want to invest in that. I'd still rather have guys like Mixon, Javonte Williams, and maybe even Aaron Jones, who Aaron Jones also is more talented, even though he's older. But, I mean, Montgomery is starting to... There's only so high I'm ever going to put him. Put it that way.
Yeah, what about Travis Etienne?
No, Etienne's way higher in Dynasty.
Javonte Williams?
Higher, yeah, I mentioned him already.
This is kind of the people going around him right now. Trey Sermon going right after him.
Lower for sure.
Yeah, then there's like you said, the Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon.
With Trey Sermon, I think with Trey Sermon, you're hoping that he's David Montgomery. David Montgomery's 2020 is Trey Sermon's ultimate upside if everything hit correctly. And I'm not even sure that Trey Sermon is that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Ed doesn't want Waddle to be someone. I don't know that I want to be relying on Waddle or that you would have to.
No, you don't want Waddle. So where do I have Waddle ranked in redraft? I can look at that. In Dynasty, I have him wide receiver 23. So that's pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
In redraft, I'm pretty sure I have him 35. So I do have him ranked in the wide receiver 3 range. Guys like Chark and Thomas have dropped recently. But yeah, I have Waddle ranked at wide receiver 35, one spot actually behind his teammate Will Fuller, who I have at 34. But again, I'm not sure I really want Waddle to be my wide receiver 3.
For 2021 only, do you have Waddle or Cooper Kupp?
Oh, what kind of question is that? I have Cooper Kupp. When an article is coming on Cooper Kupp, I have Cooper Kupp ranked wide receiver 16.
Cortland Sutton?
Oh, man. I have Cortland Sutton ranked wide receiver 30 for 2021, but I am very concerned about Cortland Sutton.
Adam Thielen
I have higher. Thielen's wide receiver 27, I believe.
Tyler Boyd?
No, Boyd's way lower. Boyd's in the 40s.
Really? Even in redraft?
It's not that in on Boyd. I mean,
I like
look,
Boyd.
One thing I can tell you is if you believe the reports that Joe Burrow is bad, get out of time. Tyler Boyd's going to be the one who takes the big hit.
That was so like a few days ago.
I'm saying, but if you believe that, then
Yeah.
the beta is going to be the one who takes the big hit of all. I don't believe that. I don't buy it. I stuck to my original projections, but just given the situation, I have Jamar Chase at wide receiver 19, T. Higgins at wide receiver 22. How high can I really have Tyler Boyd? I'd have to give Joe Burrow the ceiling projection, which I have not done. I have Joe Burrow quarterback 13, not that high on him.
How about this guy? How about Zach Wilson? Are you high on him, or you want to buy low on him in 2 QBs?
Sure, but you're not going to be able to buy low on him. he's not someone you trade for. He's someone you drafted in a rookie draft or you drafted in a startup draft. I got him from Patreon leagues, a lot of rookie drafts, a lot of startup drafts, but not trade for him because you're trading for him from someone who just drafted him who probably really liked him. So he's not a buy low for a trade, but he's a buy low for a draft in a rookie draft or a startup draft for sure. Definitely a draft, a player I'm targeting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a difference between a buy low and a draft target. Those sometimes align, but they're not always the same. Like Cooper Kupp is a buy low and a draft target. Zach Wilson is only a draft target.
Right. So I have somebody trying to buy him from me now, and their lead-in offer was like Tyler Boyd in the fourth or something like that.
That's a joke. That's a laughable offer.
Which is a joke. But if you were going to counter something, what would you sell him for?
There's almost, given my value on Zach Wilson, there's no way I'm selling him.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I thought about it. Like I thought about countering, and I ended up just saying like, no, if that's your leading offer, like we're not going to be close.
What dynasty receiver do you think I have ranked nearest to Zach Wilson?
Oh, let's see. Is it somebody we already talked about?
No. I mean, maybe we talked about him, but I don't think so.
Near Zach Wilson. Okay, hang on. Let me guess.
You're not going to like it, I don't think.
No?
No.
It's so hard because Superflex, I'm trying to look through these
hard
ADPs. Hang on. We're going to get this. So Zach Wilson right now.
It's interesting. I actually have Zach Wilson ranked
40.
Near his ADP, 2 spots away from his ADP. 2 spots higher.
So he's going right now 3 spots behind Calvin Ridley.
Wow.
And ahead of CeeDee Lamb.
I'm not there.
Me neither.
It's Devontae Adams.
Wilson ahead of
Devontae Adams.
CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
Is the receiver.
Yeah.
I have the ADP you're seeing has him at 48.25 overall, right? In Superflex?
40.25, yeah.
Right. I have him at 38. So I'm not very far off.
Yeah.
I'm a little higher, but not much higher.
Let's see. Yeah, Ed's got Waddle at his high 40s for.
Yeah, I said 35. Look, Waddle looks good in camp. Tua looks good. Fuller's currently hurt, suspended for the first game as well. Parker has not looked good. Gesicki spent time on the COVID list.
Kyle wants to know where Adrian Green's value is right now.
Well, I see a laughing thing, so this is not a serious question. You guys know value.
If you watched my, or if anybody wants to go watch my Arizona Cardinals breakdown, you can see 2 of their beat reporters from the Cardinals talking a lot about. They're from the Locked In Fantasy, or no, Locked
On Fantasy Network, and people should listen to Locked On Dynasty with our own Ryan McDowell.
Yes,
you
guys are on Locked On for the Cardinals. He's going as a wide receiver 78 right now. He's done.
Sure. But he doesn't have to be that good to be better than Christian Kirk.
No, that's true.
Christian Kirk is so bad.
Let's see. Henry asked because I took Rager over JJ in 2 rookie drafts at 8 when I debated both and beaten myself up the past year. It happens, Henry. It happens look, the fact that it happens to you, Henry, tells me that, like, hey, even the greats make mistakes.
I mean, if I look back on every bad draft pick I made or every bad trade, you never look back. That's something that Dynasty Outhouse says. Never look back.
Never look back.
Never look back. I mean,
never delete. Never look back.
What good does that do you?
Kyle says Rowager over Jefferson is failure. Blake says misspelling Rager is failure.
Oh my God.
Kyle laughed. It's correct. Yeah. Fun time in the chat. Make sure that if you're here and you're just watching, you're participating, you're missing out on the fun. Adam's in the house. What's up, Adam? I appreciate you.
I love you.
AJ, yeah. Look, we work hard, but like this is fun. Like this, like when we get to this part, like this part is fun for me. I love being able to be here, answering these questions, talking to you, Tyler, here. And I feel like I get smarter every time I just get a chance to be on the same stream with you.
Well, I mean, I certainly get smarter every time I listen to the show. Every time I listen to the show, I learn something new that I said. So I always learn from listening to this show, and I think other people should do the same thing.
Jamie, George Kittle and Darren Waller, day 3 tight ends, top 100, and would still be if their position was
tight
wide
end's
receiver.
different. It happens all the time at tight end. Kelsey, too. When was Kelsey picked? Was he a 3rd round pick? I forget. Travis Kelsey's before my time.
Travis Kelsey, I don't remember.
3rd round pick? I don't even remember. Yeah, 3rd round pick. So he wasn't. It was day 2, but
okay.
This happens all the time with tight ends.
Zach Wilson isn't a QB1, but definitely good for a 2 QB leagues. Held the job for at least 3 years. That's probably true.
He's not a QB1. I mean, but I don't think anyone said that.
He's not a QB1, but like I like Zach Wilson. I think he's got an opportunity. So could the Cephas will be top 100 after this season? Top 100 wide receiver or top 100 overall, Jamie?
He means overall, and there's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
No way. Look,
Sorry.
I'd love to see it, but no way.
No way. Sorry.
Jared Goff is going to have to light it up, and Quintez Cephas is going to have to get all the targets.
That's quite unlikely on both fronts.
Ryan says, very late to clarify, but I have the 201, 207, 304, 401, and 407 in a 10-team Superflex startup, so I thought running back wasn't out of the question.
That changes a lot of things.
It does.
In that case, maybe running back's not such a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. I like this. So look, you must have made some moves, and I like the way.
Well, I like what you did. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you picked up 5 picks here in the first 4 rounds. I like it. Good job.
It looks like you turned 110 and 310 into 207, 304, and 407, which I liked.
David wants to know if you would trade Allen Robinson for Aaron Jones. I feel Allen Robinson has better long-term value.
I have Allen Robinson ranked higher. So, yeah.
Those are 2 players getting really close to that. It's going to be really hard to trade them
Well, Jones is over it. Oh, he's over the age cliff.
Mm-hmm. Mike Valverde, RFL Red Zone. Love you, Mike. CMC is a unicorn.
Yes.
Like, if he puts in a couple of years of being a stud running back again, where he finishes running back 1, like he could be in the conversation of the best running back in fantasy history.
He's got a long way to go.
Couple of years. Matt, rebuilding 1-4 and 1-8. Is that about right to give up Montgomery and Dalvin?
No, that's not enough.
Superflex?
Either way, still.
So Superflex.
No.
Let's say that's Najee Harris and what would 1-8 be? Zach Wilson.
It won't be. I mean, if you have to, but you should be able to get more than this. Maybe you can't.
I think so too.
Maybe you can't. I don't know.
Especially for Dalvin. I feel like you could probably get this alone for Dalvin, right?
Probably
2 picks, 2 first-round picks.
Probably not in a super flex, but I tried to do better.
Yeah, Mike says he thinks Tua is going to be better as well, and Waddle's still like a wide receiver 3, 4. I think it depends on the health of some of those weapons out there, right? Like if Devontae Parker's there and Will Fuller's there, and they're all healthy, I don't know if they're going to pass enough for Waddle to be a consistent, maybe a wide receiver 3. But you're talking about 4, 5, 6 targets a game, probably, if everybody's healthy.
I think that he's going to do well.
I like him a lot. Long term, like I'm telling Dynasty, I love him.
Well, he could have Deshaun Watson as quarterback in 2022.
It's possible.
Sorry.
Adam's late to the party, but he's glad to be here. We're glad to have you, Adam. Hello, is Justin Herbert and Brandon Cooks for Josh Jacobs good from a Jacobs perspective? I'm assuming this is 1 QB.
Well, it had better be.
Yeah. Broby Wan Kenobi.
It's fine. Sure.
if you're trading Herbert,
This kind of trade is why I don't like one QB.
Jacob?
I don't like one QB. One QB is silly. If this is the kind of trade you're doing, it's like, really? Really? We live in a world where Josh Jacobs is more valuable than Justin Herbert? I don't like that world.
Yeah,
I don't like that world at all.
No, me neither.
So, nah.
Mike says Zach Wilson is a QB 26. That's low. That's a little low for me.
Maybe this year. I don't
know. Ed wants to welcome in Adam. Adam says, how do you improve your dynasty team if you just had your startup and you drafted a very, with all caps, very
Adam, have you not watched this show?
15 rookies, 7 sophomores, 5 other guys. Do I wait and hope 25 to 50% of them hit?
Why is this an oops? I probably love your team.
Yeah.
I'll probably really like it. So this is not an oops. This is probably a good thing. Depends on who you drafted always, but I'm probably going to like it.
15 rookies seems like a lot.
I mean, I have a feeling I would like this team more than likely.
The sophomores, probably like the sophomores.
I have a feeling that I would like this team if I saw it. I just have a feeling.
Do you know this team already?
Did I say that?
No, I'm just curious the way you just kept emphasizing that. I'm curious.
No, I just have a feeling.
When Jeff Wilson gets healthy, do y'all think he has a shot at the lead role in San Fran?
No,
I don't.
No.
Trey Sermon's going to run with it.
He hurt himself getting out of a chair. I think I'm good.
Yeah, Mike says Kittle was.
Yeah, Kelsey was the third rounder, though.
Yeah. Matt Page, not Superflex owners of the first 3 picks have been burned by me too many times. Going back to Matt's question there. GatorFan 15. Hey,
well, if it wasn't Superflex, then he got to get a lot more for Dalvin and Montgomery than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
You should get 104 and 108 for Dalvin alone.
And if that's the best offer that you're getting, don't trade him. Don't
just
trade.
Wait until the season. You'll get a better offer.
Yeah.
Or trade for 2022. You'll get a much better offer if that's the best you're getting this year.
Gator fan and 2QB redraft leagues. How would you suggest balancing safety and upside along with having to draft 3 quarterbacks?
I draft the best players. I don't know how to answer that. I would that's such a vague question. I would just draft good players. I really don't know how to answer that because that is going to depend on who you draft in the beginning. And then that's going to dictate who you draft later. So I really would just keep drafting how I always draft redraft, which is having positional rankings and tiers and just trying to build a balanced roster.
Yeah, I don't think I'm thinking much about...
This is the reason why I struggle to answer this question is because this thought enters my mind 0 times.
Yeah.
Ever. It never has. So I don't know the answer because I don't think about it this way. In redraft, I just try to draft the best players to create the best balanced roster. That's it. It's much simpler than Dynasty.
Zach Wilson sucks. I don't think so.
No, thank
Number
you.
2 overall pick.
We don't know. We'll see if he sucks.
Come on. Yeah, so Adam's...
Oh, boy. Here come all the names. Let's see.
All right. He got Burrow.
We're already off to a pretty good start.
Trevor Lawrence. Drew Lock. Davis
Drew Lock is not so good, but he has Burrow and Lawrence. I like that. I assume this is a Superflex.
I don't remember the initial question. Oh, he didn't say. So let us know if it's
probably
Superflex.
A Superflex.
Okay, running backs: Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Zach Moss, Elijah Mitchell,
a lot of whatever.
Yeah, a lot of whatever there. Good start with the first 2.
Yeah, he says
it is Superflex. Wide receivers: Ayuk, Chase, Devonta, Galladay, Amari Rodgers, Bateman. Yeah, you did good with the wide receivers.
Yeah. What's wrong with
Cam Akers?
Did you draft this team before Cam Akers got hurt or after Cam Akers got hurt?
Good question. This is the kind of interactive.
And where's the tight ends?
It's kind of interactive show you don't get anywhere else.
Because If you drafted this team before Cam Akers got hurt, then I'm very impressed. After, okay, so I'm not as impressed then. Because if you had still gotten all these good players while wasting a second round pick on Cam Akers, then I would have been very impressed. With the reality of the situation that you drafted Cam later at 1203, though, like you said, is a good value. I would have taken Cam Akers at 1203. So you got a good value there. What is wrong with this team? Where are the tight ends? But what's wrong with this team?
Oh, let's see.
Wrong with it.
Noah Fant, Cole Kmet.
Fant, okay. Fant and Kmet, that's fine. I mean, it's not great, but Noah Gray, I like. A sleeper. There's nothing wrong with this team. Like,
no, yeah, there's no oops here.
No oops. Yeah, no oops. I mean, you have Akers.
I'm not sure you're competing this year, but like this is a little more like a productive struggle team, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I do think that like Galladay doesn't belong here.
Yeah, trade him.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can trade him now, but like Galladay is the one. It's like, what is he doing with the rest of these players? Everyone else is like a clear, young player team, but Galladay is here. So that's the one pick that kind of is a little odd. But you have Chase as your 1. You have Ayuk as your 2. You have Devonta Smith as your 3, which is great in Dynasty. Bateman is your 4. And then, once you get rid of Galladay, I mean, you have Cam Akers as your running back 3 behind Javonte and Dobbins, and you have 2 top quarterbacks in Burrow and Lawrence. Fant is a good tight end. Kmet's a good backup in Dynasty. So I think you did a pretty good job here. I wouldn't have anxiety over this one. I think you're good.
I'm with you. Let's move on here to Grant. Grant, thanks for the great Brandon Cook's value advice last episode. As a follow-up, I ended up getting 1 second and 2/3 for him and 12-team Superflex. First, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't think you're getting more. So if you're in a rebuilding mode and that it's that or nothing, I would take that over nothing. Right, easily.
What are we doing with the Giants wide receivers, especially Slayton? I don't think you do anything with Slayton.
What are you doing with Slayton? Slayton is
dropping Slayton.
I wouldn't drop him, but
is he like why? What's Slayton doing?
Slayton's actually pretty good. If you watched the Giants as a Giants fan, you actually would have seen that Slayton actually performed well at some point, and then he turned bad. But he actually had some really nice plays earlier in the season. He actually, I don't know what happened to him, but he looked good. So he's not someone I'd be cutting from my team. But you can't, he's just someone you keep on your bench. You don't drop him. You don't try to trade him.
What about Shepard?
Shepard is much older. So Shepard to me is just a roster clogger because of his age. So I would just get rid of him.
And I mean, what about Galladay? He's another one that's
trade him anymore now that he's hurt. So just wait. You got to wait, I think. What else are you going to do?
Got to wait. OMZ, Justin Herbert, or Kyler Murray.
Notice we didn't even talk about Kadarius Toney. That's how far he's fallen.
I like Toney.
I know, but
I'm cheering for Toney. I should say it that way.
Cheer for him.
I'm not sure he's ever going to be fantasy relevant, but
you can cheer for him as much as you want.
We'll see. This is Kyler Murray.
Yes, it is.
Justin Herbert is also good, but Kyler Murray is in a tier above him.
Kyler Murray has rushing upside that Justin Herbert does not. It's Kyler Murray by a lot.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is also going to throw the ball a lot. Like he could be such a cheat code.
Kyler Murray was the quarterback won by a mile before he hurt his shoulder last year.
Yeah.
So he was having the Lamar Jackson 2019 season essentially.
But with like more passing, like so Lamar threw 400 times last year. He threw like 550. Like
No, I get it. It's exactly what I'm saying.
Right. It's like he could be that plus. Okay, yeah. So here, what do you think is the best strategy for dealing with the additional week? Extra regular season game, extra playoff round, 2-round finals.
They made it easy for us. I mean, they have a week 14 bye, so 14 regular season games, playoffs 15, 16, 17, week 18, nothing. They made it easy for us.
Yeah. First things, having anxiety about his first startup. Cool. I'm glad you shared that with us, Adam. And definitely, if anybody is in here listening to this, watching this, like, it's a good time to get those in because we are now at the place where we are all caught up. Yeah, Adam, Adam, you did a good job. I'd say just be patient this year. That's really good advice. Thanks, P2 Thar. So, yeah, we can start talking a little bit about some of our Twitter questions. But if you are watching this and you are you're just now tuning in, make sure you go ahead. We are answering any questions that you have in Dynasty. We're about an hour 40 in, and we have had a ton of interaction in the chat. So definitely always appreciate all of that. Tyler, as we go, as I pull up and get to our Twitter questions here, anything else that happened in the world of training camps or anything like that you want to touch on?
I mean, there's so many things, but I don't know. Like, just pay attention to the news. There's nothing specific really that we haven't already covered. I hope Rashad Bateman his injury is not too serious. That happened today. Hunter Henry is going to miss a few weeks. The Hunter Henry experiment has been a failure. But he hasn't looked good at all. He didn't look good before. Now he's hurt. I think that experiment was a failure. So I don't know. Jonnu Smith is looking a little bit better, but I would almost say that this might be a good time to sell Jonnu Smith. I know you're not a fan of Jonnu Smith, but it does seem like, based on everything that we're seeing, like he could have a pretty decent year. And well, yeah, players who haven't produced, who now have an opportunity to produce and, haven't actually proven anything are usually good sells. Jamin,
12 team, Superflex contending, was offered 2023 first to give Ayuk.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Not enough.
Keep Ayuk. At first, it's 2 years from now. I mean, I'd rather have Ayuk.
This goes in a bit to what we were talking about earlier, too, with the trading wide receivers for the first round picks. It's just kind of in. Yeah, this Ayuk, we were saying like a first, second, but 2023 first complicates it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a little different. Like when I'm giving up my own first, it's a dangerous game. If someone's giving me a first for a wide receiver that I have already, I'm less inclined to do it. There's a lot of trades in this range where I'm not doing it either way.
Yeah.
But Ayuk is worth more than a first.
Chogdor, Superflex traded DJ Moore, Derek Carr.
I've talked about this trade.
With him or on this show?
Yeah, with him.
Okay. For Jimmy G, Trey Lance, got Pat M. Is that Pat Fryermuth?
He already had Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
He has Mahomes and Fields, and he did this trade.
I was like, this is more to the trade? No,
I hope he likes it because I told him to do this.
More than having 3 tops.
It was my idea.
Okay, so I assume you approve.
Oh, I should hope so because this was my idea.
Okay, good.
So I really hope I really hope I approve because I'm the one who told him to do it. This is a Patreon trade.
Love it. Ryan said.
Well, no. Go back to that. I mean, just because I approve, what do you think? Of course I approve. I told him to do it. So we want to hear from someone who didn't essentially make this deal.
So Carr and Ruggs, to me, like they have so much opportunity to just be worth nothing at the end of this year. Like there's a chance that Carr and Ruggs are just like Jimmy G could be just as valuable as Carr next year if he lands somewhere else. Yeah,
potentially.
And then Trey Lance, man, he just looks like he is such. I'm just excited about Trey Lance.
That's just what I think it is, really. I think it's a lot of replaceable on the left, and it's a guy who's going to be a first-round starter pick in Superflex on the right. And I want the first-round starter pick. I don't want replaceable nonsense. It's just that simple.
I like that it includes Jimmy G as well because it gives you like Fields may or may not start, and you got
that was my idea too.
Yeah. You got Mahomes, obviously. That's like
Mahomes papers over a lot of problems.
Yeah, Fields, having him there, but being able to get Jimmy G and Lance, that tells you you're going to have your QB2. And so, yeah, I like DJ Moore, but not enough.
Yeah, I just think that in a year you could have 3 first-round startup picks, and then from that position, if you wanted to trade Lance, like you could trade Lance for way more than that left side. You could trade Lance for whatever you want. I mean, if he has what the value Kyler Murray has now, you could get. I mean, you could get like Brandon Ayuk and like a Baker Mayfield.
Right, 100%,
and more than that, probably.
Yes. Yeah, I like it. So, do you want to?
Yeah.
See. All right, you'll be right back.
All right. I will leave you all in Cal's capable hands for just a minute.
Before we get to any of the other questions, I will just talk a little bit about the Team Spotlight Series, the team preview that we've been doing here on DLF on the YouTube channel. And we do have a playlist that's set up where you can watch a bunch of those. There's some that still need to be added to it. And then I got 4 that are coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have the Rams. We're going to talk about Cam Akers. We're going to talk about Daryl Henderson. That's going to be with it's Jorge. I don't want to spoil all of it for you, but you'll have to see it when you get there. Then we're going to be talking about the Jaguars. We'll be talking about the Vikings and be talking about the Raiders. And I got some great guests coming up for all those shows. What we've been doing on those shows is breaking down that just every part of every single team from a dynasty perspective and just from what we expect for this season as well. And I bring on guests, I bring on people that love to talk about dynasty football, talk about fantasy football, and they also love to talk about that particular team. And the biggest idea for that is like we've got some really smart football people, bring them on, let you guys hear from them, but also have an opportunity to, talk about the team they love the most and pay attention to the most. Like if you guys are like me, like I've got the Red Zone channel on and I got the Saints game on because I'm a Saints fan. So I'm definitely paying a little bit more attention to what the Saints are doing just because I'm a fan of that team. So same thing with these guys. We've had a great series. Heath Cummings has been a part of it. It's a lot of you guys that I see here in the chat have been there and asking questions and making comments, and I appreciate all those for sure. So yeah, check those out as we get ready for the first set of preseason games and all those things. It would mean a lot if you guys went and watched those and took part in that. So as Tyler is continuing to do his thing over there, let's bring up Ryan's question. Ryan, he traded Hunter Henry and a 2023 first for Hockenson last week. Pretty happy with it, but did he overpay? Ryan, is there anything like is this a Superflex league for one? But is it a tight end premium? And the Superflex part, you might think like, oh, who cares? There's not a quarterback involved in this, so why do I care if there is if it's Superflex? Because that 2023 first is going to be more valuable if it's a Superflex league. Think about this year. The talent gap runs out a lot differently in a 1 QB league versus a Superflex league. If you are, here we go. There's Tyler. So yeah, we were talking about this trade and just asking the question about whether it's Superflex. Yeah, Ryan says it was Superflex, no premium. Traded Hunter Henry and a 2023 first for Hockenson last week. What do you think?
What's the format? Is it premium?
It is Superflex, no premium.
No premium. Hawk's still worth more than that. Well, Superflex no premium is the format where he's worth the least. Ooh, that is close. I try to translate the rankings, which is a little bit hard to do.
I like Hockenson a lot, but like I don't know if I'm giving up a first for a tight end that's not among that top 3 right now.
Probably wouldn't either. But it is 2023, which makes me want to do it more because it's farther away.
Okay. Here we go. This is a question I know you'll enjoy. What odds do you give Jalen Hurts to start through his entire rookie contract?
Like 10%. Not good. Not good. Yeah, he doesn't look good in camp at all. Like at all. He looks bad. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I don't think he's going to start throughout his whole rookie contract. I'm not even sure he's going to start next year. I think that they wanted to trade for Deshaun Watson at some point. I don't know if Deshaun Watson wants to go there. I don't know what's going on with Watson's situation, but minimal. They want to replace Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's going to start his entire rookie contract in Philly.
I'm not sure he'd get handed another job. Like, you think he'd get handed another job?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that he was going to be included in the trade to get Deshaun Watson. The rumors were that he wasn't even a part of that. So
those rumors were garbage.
But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, we take it as a given that they would want Hurts back. But what if the Texans don't like Jalen Hurts?
But what do they have? They don't have any. He's better than what they have.
Yeah, but what if they want to tank? They're ready to. They want to get draft picks.
Right,
and
but
they want to.
The trade's not happening right now anyway. So I don't know what's going on, but maybe I don't. I think that this is going to be his chance. This is his chance, and if he fails here, he's not going to become a starter elsewhere.
Yeah, I think Ed's right here. I think Hurts literally has to win games to save his job.
He's either, we've talked about this a zillion times, but building on that, he's either going to win this starting job this year and he's going to become their franchise quarterback, or he's not and he's going to be a backup. Very simple. And it
probably has everything to do with whether or not they win. Like, and some of it, he could play great and still lose his job.
Well, I mean, if he plays great, how many games are they going to lose? I mean, I guess Justin Herbert played pretty well and they lost a bunch of games.
Yeah.
But if he played that well, he would keep his job even if they lost the game.
I mean, Deshaun Watson played great last year.
Yeah, and they lost a bunch of games too.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the kind of great he would have to be to hold on to the job in a losing season.
Yep, I agree. Tony or Tanya, would you trade Austin Eckler for Terry McLaurin and a second?
What? I'd rather have McLaurin alone. So, yes.
I think we need context because I can see
not this. No, I don't need context this time.
I think we do.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because I think if you're sitting in a situation where, like if you get this trade offer in, somebody offers it to you. Now, if you're going out looking for it, then of course, yes, you do that. But because you already have your context of your team, you get this in and you're a team that Eckler's your best running back. And let's say Nyheim Hines is like number 2, but everywhere else you're stacked and you feel like you got a chance to compete. You're not doing this.
I mean, I'll probably do it anyway.
I think it just depends on your running back situation. If it puts you in a situation where you're not going to be able to compete, I'm not sure I'm doing it.
I don't know. If losing Eckler is putting you in that bad of a situation, you weren't that strong of a contender to begin with.
I think Eckler's for 2021. I like Eckler a lot.
I know, but the value here is on the other side.
The value is on the other side.
So
in terms of just like in a vacuum, sure. I
think Terry McLaurin's going to finish as a wide receiver 1 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I would hesitate. It would be tough for me to turn down McLaurin and a second for Eckler in any situation. Personally.
TK, Mahomes, Murray. What? Mahomes, Murray, and Lawrence. 12-team Superflex. Is this enough or do I need another quarterback?
We need me to tell you this? We need me to tell you that this is enough, and you don't
TK is
need
bragging. He's bragging.
This is a bragging post.
This
You don't
is
need
a brag, TK.
You don't need me to tell you. I hope you don't need me to tell you this. Yes, it's enough. It's more than enough. You have like 3 top 7, 3 stud quarterbacks, 3 of my top 7 overall Superflex assets. Yes, it's enough. Come on.
He's just flexing. He's just flexing.
He's flexing.
Like,
you know better. You know this is enough.
Yep. Adam, do you guys watch Hard Knocks on HBO? It premieres tonight. So I haven't seen it tonight.
No, so I haven't seen it yet. What?
I don't know. The Cowboys players are undervalued.
I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe Michael Gallup is undervalued.
Maybe. How high is he going to go up?
Not that much higher.
If it was like the Jets, I could see, it having an impact. But I just don't see the Cowboys. I don't see Hard Knocks having an impact on the Cowboys.
Maybe a little, but Lamb is already so high. How much higher is he going to get?
Yep. Ed says you could flip MCL if you were a contender and keep the second. So keep McLaurin. Flip McLaurin if you were a contender and keep the second.
Yes, you can, but McLaurin's going to help you if you're a contender.
Yeah, I guess he's saying, in my scenario where you don't have anybody else really great at running back behind him.
Sure.
To Twitter we go. Fantasy Sports Guy, 12-team Dynasty startup. 1 QB, who are you targeting at the turn? 112, 201. I'm thinking CD and hoping for another young wide receiver falls to me. Justin Jefferson or DK Metcalf?
I mean, I want Justin Jefferson. That would be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf would be great if I could have that. Justin Jefferson and CD Lamb is fine.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Rager, Mims, Edwards, who do you see having the better season?
Having deja vu here.
I don't think we answered this one.
Feels familiar. But Mims is dead in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, these are the questions I put in, then aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did answer them already on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are questions from Twitter that you added.
Yeah.
I think CD, Swift or CD in Dynasty? Seems like Lamb will be a surefire star, and Swift has more volatility but more valuable position. It's a doozy.
So the way everything's going with Swift, I'll take Lamb.
I think it's more likely Lamb has more value next season.
I agree. I think Lamb is going to have a better season, and a season that's more likely to increase his value than Swift. So give me Lamb.
Agreed. Okay, let's keep going with some of these Twitter questions. Who will have more Superflex Dynasty value?
I remember answering this one.
2021 season, Myles Gaskin or Jameis Winston?
I mean, can I say neither? I'm not sure either is going to have much value. I think Jameis Winston's not going to be a starting quarterback, and Myles Gaskin's not going to be a starting running back.
Given that, I guess you say Jameis, right? Like, because you'd rather just roll the dice on the quarterback?
But running backs who have any role are worth more usually than backup quarterbacks. I mean, what is Mitch Trubisky or Marcus Mariota worth now?
Yeah, nothing.
Like, even Devin Singletary holds more value than those guys. I don't think he should, but he does.
Agreed.
So I guess on the balance of the outcomes, it's probably Myles Gaskin.
TK, what's the worst trade that you ever made?
I do not remember that.
All right. I'm going to tell you about the best one I ever made.
They ask for worst, and you go to best. I see how
I'm going to go to best.
I see how it is. You don't want the people to hear about your mistakes. You only want them to hear about, the people saw what just happened.
I got plenty that I could talk about, but I have this is just more fun.
Well, you owe them a worst trade then. If you're going to give them a best trade, you got to give them a worst one too.
Okay. There's probably way more to choose from on the worst side.
Modest.
So the better side, like, one jumps out. I will never forget. It's a trade I made with my brother. So we're getting about to that home league time where you start, drafting with people who are in your home leagues, right? My brother, he had a great team. This is going back a ways. This is Rex Grossman was the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, we're going back a long time.
We're going back. Frank Gore was starting running back for young Frank Gore for the San Francisco 49ers, his rookie season. This is right. My brother didn't have a quarterback, and Rex Grossman was on one of his really, really, really good. He had 2 or 3 game stretch where he was really good. So I traded him Rex Grossman for Frank Gore, and it was the week before the infamous "They are who we thought they were" with Dennis Green and the almost said Daryl Green, Dennis Green and the Arizona Cardinals versus the Bears. Rex Grossman won that game. The Chicago Bears won that game. Rex Grossman had negative fantasy points. And it was a Monday night game. My brother went into that week with his brand new shiny quarterback that he just got in a trade with a lead. He had a 2-point lead going into that game and walked out of there with a loss because he traded for that. He would have been better starting nobody.
I love it.
Yeah, that was the best trade I ever made. The worst one, I don't know. There's just too many to choose from. Do you have one?
There's so many, man.
Oh, I got one. I traded Juju Smith-Schuster his rookie season for who's the quarterback? Terrell Pryor. Quarterback turned
oh boy. Oh boy,
yeah.
Not good. I do remember a bad waiver transaction I made. My first year in Dynasty was 2018. I was I didn't really know what I was doing. So I dropped Tyler Boyd for Laquan Treadwell.
Nice.
Oops.
Nice.
Oopsie. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah. I guarantee you I've made some bad Cordero Patterson trades when he was a big thing.
Oh no.
Trying to think
not a trade, but that's a bad transaction.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Grant, I failed at getting CD and Ridley for my rebuild. And 12.
Sorry.
Flex. Who's my next target? How many picks is Calvin Ridley worth?
Ridley's worth a lot. So at least 2 firsts, probably more. So I don't know. I mean, can you try to get Jamar Chase plus? Maybe that'll be my next attempt.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase in a first is probably not realistic.
We are just over the 2-hour mark. If you are watching this and you're in the chat and you have any questions, we are here to answer them for you. If you, if not, and we don't end up going our full 4 hours, that's okay. If you guys don't have any questions, we'll save up some time for next week. But if you do, now's the time to go ahead and get those in.
Yeah, the chat has been on the quieter side today.
No doubt. So Todd Radmaker, was it okay to turn down D-Hop and Amari Rodgers for my Montgomery and Sutton?
Yeah, it's fine to turn it down. I mean, Hopkins is worth more than Montgomery, but Sutton's worth a lot more than Amari Rodgers. So, yeah, I mean, it's fine to turn it down.
Yeah, it's close.
It's perfectly reasonable.
There's nobody in this trade that, obviously, D-Hop is great. There's nobody in Dynasty I'm super excited about in this trade. Maybe Cortland Sutton, but I don't know. I'm not super pumped about him right now.
Yeah.
Ed traded James Robinson in the preseason for Josh Kelly.
Who's Joshua Kelly?
Who is it?
They have a player on their team named Joshua Fumble. I've never heard of Joshua Kelly. That's someone. What position does Joshua Kelly play?
Tell us in the comments.
Pull that clip. Pull that clip. That's what the haters will do. They'll pull that clip.
Tell us in the comments.
Oh, yeah, Joshua Fumble is on that team.
About your worst trade. Let's hear this. The worst trade.
Hear it from the chat, not from me. Who cares about me?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it
People
in the chat.
Put your worst trades in the chat.
Yeah. Dylan, in general, I'm hesitant to make third round or later rookie picks in Superflex. I usually prefer to package them in deals or trade them for draft capital in future drafts. Thoughts on that
I don't have
strategy?
any issue with that strategy, but I'm also fine making later picks. I often trade for a lot of later picks and then trade them away, but I also make a bunch as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a strategy here. A lot of it depends on how willing your league is to give you, like, how willing is your league to do the following trade? I'm trading away the 302 for a 2022 second. How willing are they to do that? If they're very willing, I'm going to be trading the picks away all the time. If they're not, then I'm going to be making the picks. Same thing. Like, are they going to trade the 402 for a 2022 third? If they are, I'll take the 2022 third. If they're not, then I'm probably going to take the 402. So that's the kind of, it just depends on how often is that deal getting done in your league. If it is, I'll make the deal. Otherwise, I'm making the picks.
It also depends on when you're drafting. Like, if you're drafting closer to the real life NFL draft, I'm probably more likely to make those third round picks because I feel like you get a lot of value there. Like, as it's gotten closer, like, you used to be able to get like Nico Collins in the third round. I love that.
I will tell you, you still can.
Yeah,
I know this because I did it today.
His ADP is
nope
going up.
No, it's not. Trust me, it's not. As someone who's been dealing with Patreon rookie drafts recently, a couple of them, it's not. It's still, and in startups too, it's not going up. It's still low.
Yeah.
So, he might be on our radar, but he has not made it into the mainstream radar yet. So you can still get the value. We live in a bubble on Twitter, man. People don't realize that.
So I'm going off DLF's ADP, and yeah, I know that can vary from league to league, obviously. Okay.
But even DLF's ADP is weighted towards people who are paying more attention.
Mm-hmm. Cat Zero.
Oh, I'm so
Darren
sorry.
Waller for DD
I'm
Westbrook.
so sorry.
Oops. This reminds me, I once traded Hakeem Nicks for Aaron Hernandez the summer that he went to jail. It was like 3 weeks before.
Was I even playing fantasy football back then? I was born then, right?
You were 8 or 9 years old, probably.
Oh.
I don't know for real, but yeah, Monty's back in the house. What's up, Monty? I appreciate that. Get that chat coming in. Let's see. TK, I traded away Herbert.
Oh no.
For Judy and 2021 201 beginning of the season.
Hurts.
It does hurt.
Oh, that would hurt. Sorry.
In a 1 QB, I traded away Pat Mahomes before he became a starter during his rookie season. Trade away Pat Mahomes for Tom Brady and a 20 whatever it was second.
Ouch.
Yeah. Not great.
Ouch.
Yep. Dylan, do you think Aaron Rodgers plays for the Broncos in 2022?
I mean, think about it this way, right? Aaron Rodgers, they agreed that if he wants to go, he's going to go. Now, I think they're going to send him to the AFC. So look at the AFC teams, really, right? I mean, what is going to be open? If you look down, I think it's easier to look at what's not open. Like, the Bills are not open.
Closed.
The Jets, probably at this point, on 1 year of the second overall pick, are probably not open. Miami.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if he went to the Jets.
Well, he won't though. But
no,
Miami,
following after Brett Favre, that'd be awesome.
Miami, New England. There's a couple spots. I mean, Pittsburgh. I kind of like, actually.
Cleveland.
I think they're about to extend. Mayfield has $20 million guaranteed for 2022, so it's tough. I would say that's unlikely, and I think they're about to extend him. So that's probably there, but that's probably not open.
Maybe not.
Pittsburgh, I think, is a good possibility. Vegas.
That's what I was about to say.
Denver.
Chargers do not have an opening.
No.
Kansas City does not have an opening.
Indianapolis.
Jacksonville doesn't have an opening.
No, not Jacksonville. Houston.
Oh gosh.
Not that he's not going to go there though.
No.
I mean, I really think Denver and Pittsburgh and Vegas are the three that I'm really looking at. Denver, Pittsburgh, and Vegas.
Monty once traded Tyler Lockett for a second and Hakeem Butler. Remember, gosh, Hakeem Butler, man.
Hakeem Butler was 101 in that class at one point.
That was
101 in that class. And Kelvin Harmon was 103. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Later in those rookie drafts, Harmon kept going down. But Butler maintained value.
He lied about his age. That's why.
Butler maintained value for a while.
But yeah, that was one of the ones where we just had early in the rookie process, we just missed by a mile. Like Hakeem Butler and Kelvin Harmon were top 3 picks, and they were not even day 2 picks in the NFL draft. We weren't that one. I can't remember another year where we just missed on the top players by that much.
It has
not happened since. Not like that.
Open 24 hours, first year in Dynasty. I traded my first for Phillip Rivers.
It's not that bad. Unless it was a 1 QB.
Probably 1 QB.
Superflex, you got 3 years of a starter. That's not bad.
Probably 1 QB.
Well, then it's very bad.
That's probably what makes it bad.
It must be. If it's a Superflex, it's not bad.
If you're in the chat, tell us if you're watching this, tell us what your worst trade ever was. Let's talk about that. TK has a new rule. He's not going to play in leagues that require kickers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like kickers.
I don't like doing it either. I don't know. I don't know if I would just not join a league that had it.
I don't think I would at this point. I mean, Scott Fishbowl has it, so I guess we all did that, right?
Right.
But
Adam thought he was a contender last year. He sent the IR Saquon and Debo for Kareem Hunt and Robert Woods. I guess if you go for it, like, I guess if you're going for it.
Oh boy. I'm sorry. Whoops. Not your best.
Dylan, my worst trade 2 weeks before Watson. Allegations in Tua Tannehill 202 for Watson and a 2023 third. 2023 first, excuse me.
At least you got a 2023 first. That's something.
Good stuff. Valverde traded Priest Holmes for Marshall Faulk in 2004. I would have to go back and look.
I know that Priest Holmes and Marshall Faulk were good, but I feel like neither of them were good after 2004.
No, I think that's about the point. Priest Holmes was. I'm gonna go look it up. Marshall Faulk was definitely at the very end of his run.
That was when Priest Holmes lost his job to Larry Johnson.
04?
Yeah.
Let's see. 2004. He had 14 touchdowns.
Okay, so he was still good.
But the year before, he had 27. Holy cow.
What? 27?
1,400 yards, 27 touchdowns, 74 catches for 690 receiving yards.
Oh my god.
What a year. What a year.
That's crazy.
He had 400 and something.
What did Marshall Faulk do from 2004 on?
Yeah, let's see. He fell off a cliff after that. That was it. But yeah, let's go see Marshall Faulk. Hang on.
So it's 2005 that Priest Holmes lost his job.
Yeah. Okay, so 04 for Marshall Faulk. Yeah, 774 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, not good.
50 catches and a touchdown. Yeah, Faulk's 10th year.
Okay.
I knew he was at the end because he was at that greatest show on turf, which was in the late 90s.
Yeah, and he had a whole career with the Colts before that, right?
Yeah, not a whole. I guess let's see. Yeah, 5 years. I guess right now we would call that a whole career.
That's a whole career.
He was 26 when he went to the Rams.
Right. So imagine if that had happened today. That would break me. But you know what? You know what would really break me? You want to know what would really break me? Do you want to know what would break me in today's world?
Yes.
I'm going to read you a stat line. Here's a stat line for you. Here's the first 5 seasons of a player's career.
Okay.
5 years.
All right.
2,806 yards and 15 touchdowns. And 284 catches for 2,552 yards and 7 touchdowns. That sounds pretty good, right? But that's
5 seasons?
Yeah, averaging 561 rushing yards a year in their first 5 years.
Not great.
Not great, right?
Sounds like a lot of failure.
What?
Sounds like a lot of failure.
Yeah, so that same player from their age 27 season to age 31, 1,528 yards per year with 526 receiving yards a year, 8 touchdowns per year on the ground. That would have broken me.
Who is that?
I'll give you one guess. 5 years of nothing special and then 5 years of just absolute burning the house down and then retires immediately after that.
Guess. The chat room guess who
chat room. Who is that player? 5 years
player?
of meh and then 5 years of just 1,500 yards per year. 1,500 yards and then retires at 31. 27 to 31, 15. Imagine a running back 1,500 yards a year between 27 and 31. That would be if Derrick Henry started that now.
Now,
if he started that now. Imagine what it would do to Dynasty if Derrick Henry started 1,500 a year with 500 plus receiving yards per year. If he started that now, what would we do?
If Todd Gurley started that now.
Todd Gurley would have to start that now. That would break me. No, it's not Priest Holmes.
I figured that was too easy. I figured it couldn't be him.
Yeah, it's not Priest Holmes. No, there's more questions in the chat. Let's go back to the chat. People, guess who that player is. 22 to 26, nothing much. 27 to 31, 1,500 yards plus a year on the ground, 500 plus through the air, 8 rushing touchdowns a year, then retires.
Something had to make you think of this guy.
I knew this was here. That's why I went to him.
Let's see.
I knew this was a thing. That's your hint. Let's go back to the questions in the chat.
All right. If you're watching this, tell me your guess. All right. Let's go back to our questions. Alec, what can I do to improve that team? I don't know what team that is, Alec.
Yeah, I don't. Which
did I miss?
Team?
I must have missed something here, Alec, or didn't send the message that you thought.
What team is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything in here for that. So.
Did he put it like on Twitter somewhere?
Alec, let us know where you put that, and we
will... where is that? Did you put that on Twitter or what?
We will do our best.
We'll try to find it.
Spencer, 10-team Superflex, no tight end, premium, Chase Deontay, 2023 first verse, Terry McLaurin, Claypool, Sermon. Which side?
I answered this already. I'll take the Chase side.
Yes.
This was in the F4 chat.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's Chase side for me. I love McLaurin.
I just think that all the value's on the Chase side. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd rather have Chase over McLaurin by a good amount. I'd rather have the 23 any first in this format over Sermon by a good amount. I'd rather have Claypool over Deontay, but it's not enough to correct the other two. So, Chase side.
All right, what do you think about the QB extreme draft strategy?
Don't get me started.
Drafting 5+ quarterbacks in the Superflex startup.
I don't like it. But I mean, it's funny actually that I've never been asked this. I get asked this on Twitter and in like side conversations, like a lot. I don't think this has ever come up on the show. I don't really care for it. I think that it doesn't work. I'm not a fan. I like taking quarterback early. I mean, this is one of my first articles for DLF, actually, about how I like taking quarterback early, but I don't really like taking a lot of quarterbacks. I don't tend to like if I look at my Superflex rankings, you know, I have 7 quarterbacks at the beginning: Mahomes, Allen, Murray, Jackson, Prescott, Herbert, Lawrence. I mean, those are my first 7 players. But like when you get to quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins, I have him 18 spots lower than his ADP. I mean, Mac Jones, lower than his ADP. Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Carr, Wentz, Ryan, Brady. I have all of those guys below their ADP. So I often end up with 3 quarterbacks from like the early bunch and just no more quarterbacks until someone like, you know, I'm likely to have someone like Kellen Mond or even Mariota or Minshew as like my QB4, because then I start to like the value again. But I tend to like getting 3 quarterbacks early, and I usually stop there. Like a typical like Tyler team would maybe start with a Josh Allen and then would proceed with Justin Fields as QB2, and then could have like Baker as my QB3 or something. Or I have noticed that Derek Carr is the one QB3 in the QB3 range that I tend to like. I could have a team like that. And then there's also a couple other ones. Like I tend to like Jordan Love's value. So I could easily have a team that goes Allen, Fields, Carr, Love. And that's it for me at quarterback. And that's my foursome.
Yeah.
But yeah, QBX, I am out. I am out on that. It does not work. It does not work. It is a big lie. I speak out against it constantly. I've been against it from the beginning. I've never liked it. I don't think it works. And, you know, I don't generally recommend that people do it. I usually stop at 4. I'll stop at 4. 4 is usually where I'll stop, and I'll start taking other players. I find I've had this work out in my Patreon drafts too, where I take 4 and then I just find that I want to stop and take other players and build value in other places, because you know what it is really? If you because people don't come around. If you're getting 5 quarterbacks, that means people in your league don't like quarterback. You're not going to be able to trade them later. You think you can, but you can't. It doesn't actually work out that way. So I'll usually stop at 4 before I've hurt my team more. And I'll stop there. I think the strongest foursome that I've ended up with is in one of the Patreon leagues. I ended up because Fields, it was a Watson team. That's why. Because Watson has been falling and he's not going to start. I think I ended up with might have been Mahomes, Fields, Watson, and Tua. I think that something like that was like the strongest foursome I had, but then I was done with quarterback and I didn't go back to it. I went to other positions because there were values I liked, like Claypool was there. So I'm out on QBX. I strongly dislike it. It's something that I hate, and I don't recommend that people do it.
I don't like it either, and it also messes up one of my things that I like to do. Do I?
It does not work.
I love in Superflex leagues, like I'm going to draft a quarterback every year in rookie drafts. And so I just don't like this.
I agree with that.
I don't like this idea of clogging my team up that much with quarterbacks.
People overestimate. Okay. Here's my opinion on this. People underestimate how difficult it is to get a stud quarterback, but overestimate how difficult it is to get a quarterback. You can get a quarterback in Superflex. What you cannot get is a stud quarterback. That's why I want to start my team with one of those stud quarterbacks badly. You cannot replace them. You cannot just get Josh Allen out of nowhere. That doesn't happen. That's very difficult. So I want to start with a stud quarterback, but you can buy someone like Ben Roethlisberger if you want. If you need a backup quarterback, you can do that. you can get a quarterback. So I'm out on QBX completely, but I'm in on getting a stud quarterback. I want to get a stud quarterback. That's what I want to do.
Love it. Dynasty Griff.
It's something I feel very passionate about, by the way. And, it's something I'm very adamant about. It's one of my strategy points that I've felt this way for a long time. I mean, my article that I wrote about this, I wrote back in February. Mm-hmm. So nothing's changed in the last 6 months. This is where I am on this point. And I don't think I've really ever changed my mind.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Look, a lot of it comes from personal experience. I did a couple of startups in the past where I did QBX and it was a disaster. It did not work. So I don't find that it's a good strategy. Personally, I really dislike it very strongly.
Dynasty Griff, trade away Stephon Diggs.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And Damian Williams last year for Odell Beckham.
This one. Oh, I would have done it too. I would have done it. I would have done it. I was so out on Diggs. You want to talk about a mistake? You want to talk about a mistake? I was so out on Diggs last year. I was so in on OBJ. I'm so sorry. I would have done this too. I would have done it too last year, and I would have been right there with you, and I would have been so sad. You know what? Oh no, I remember a trade I did.
Okay.
I traded. Oh, this hurts. It's with Diggs. I traded Diggs and 2 firsts for Juju.
Oh, no way.
Why do you think I hate Juju so much?
Why
do you think I hate him so much?
We know why. It all makes sense.
Me.
Wow.
That's worse than this.
That is worse than that.
Much worse. Oh my God. It's funny because the guy I made that trade with is actually like my most loyal patron. I'm surprised he stuck with me after that. I don't know why. Clearly, I've learned a lot, but that was a doozy.
Dan's
He's probably watching the show. He probably remembers what I'm talking about.
What's up, Eagle Dan? Let's see. Would you rather win SFB or 3 years of home leagues?
SFB, come on.
Look, no one cares if you won your home league 3 years. No one cares. You care.
No one cares. Yeah, SFB. Care. We still hear about Stompy and his wrestling singlet.
That's right.
Never forget. I love you, Stompy.
These are guesses.
I miss Stompy, man. I don't know if anyone listening, it's been a while since he's really been active, but Stompy, the community was much more fun when he was more active. I miss Stompy.
He was big on Clubhouse there for the however long.
I was out on Clubhouse. I mean, I'm an iPhone person, so I could have used it, but I wasn't in on Clubhouse.
The guess for who became a thing at age 27, Jamal Charles?
No.
We are at Priest Holmes.
No.
Okay. Marshawn Lynch?
No.
No. He was a thing much earlier. I don't know who this is. He must have been behind. Was he behind somebody to start his career?
Not exactly.
Gosh. Weird. Okay. Juju and Mims asks Vic or Tyler Boyd and Rager. Boy, this is like.
This is the Tyler hates everyone here special. That's what this is. I hate all of these players. I hate them all.
Tyler just, if this comes up, like Tyler just drops out of the league. Like he doesn't want to be in it anymore.
He's done. I'm done with this. I'm not answering this question.
I will say the Boyd and Rager.
Boyd and Rager. I guess.
Spencer wanted the people to know Tyler.
Maybe he just wanted to brag about getting Chase. Maybe that's what it was.
Ryan wants to know if he's crazy for turning down LaVisca and 2 firsts for Chase.
I think you're starting to get to a point where it's like Chase is not worth. Chase has never played in the league. Are we talking a Superflex? Because 2 firsts and a Superflex and something else is just we're getting to a ridiculous valuation here. So yes, I would take 2 firsts and Visca in a Superflex.
For
that's the frenzy chat. Now this I don't agree with. This is not something I agree with. I hate roster limits more than I hate QBX. Yeah, I don't like QBX, but roster. Do not get me started on roster limits. I hate roster limits. Let people do what they want. I'm here to tell you that if you want to have a good dynasty team, you don't do QBX. It's going to be bad for you. But let someone else make that mistake. Let them do something dumb. I don't care what they do. Let them be dumb. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Let them do it. If someone wants to roster 15 wide receivers, let them.
Let them do it.
Let them do whatever they want because they're the ones who have to deal with that. Not you. They have to deal with that problem. So I hate roster limits. I would never play in a league that had them. I have multiple patrons. People ask me on Twitter questions about roster limits. There's one guy, I forget his name, I think it's Steve, who asked me about something. Oh, I have this, but I can't release this player because I have a roster limit. It has to be this one. I'm like, every time he puts the comment on Twitter, I'm like, roster limits are stupid. Get them out of your leagues. They're stupid.
Oh.
Let people do what they want. Let people have the rosters they want.
So Adam guessed this is not right. It's not Mark Ingram.
No, it's actually a pretty good guess, though.
But I think this is right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tiki Barber. Yeah. Tiki Barber averaged 1,500 yards a year for 5 straight years and then retired. Isn't that great?
That is insane. That's crazy.
Isn't that great? 31 years old, Tiki. 327 carries, 1,662 yards, and then retired. 1,662 yards, and then retired at 31. That's crazy.
4 years from now, 2025.
Derrick Henry's going to do that. Derrick Henry's going to put up that line. That's what you're saying?
Todd Gurley will be 31 years old.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, come on.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Honestly, like if Alvin Kamara had that kind of a season in 2025, that would be insane, right?
For a receiving back, it's less crazy. Because I mean, Danny Woodhead had a big year, huge year when he was 30.
Yep.
Receiving back can do it.
Tiki's about the same size too. 5'10", 205, about the same size as
Isn't it crazy how it used to be though?
Yeah.
Running backs producing at 28, 29, 30, 31. Who was the last guy to do it though? Adrian Peterson, really? Adrian Peterson's really the last one to do it. I mean, Frank Gore did, but Frank Gore was like already just kind of a meh player at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Frank Gore's last really good year, I mean, I guess he had pretty good years in San Francisco up until 31, and then the rest of his career was kind of a mix of, was not efficient, really.
Pete Tuthar, yeah, Tiki's probably right. Coughlin. So, yeah, Dynasty Griff. That one still hurts. I was nervous about Diggs and Allen in Buffalo. I was so hopeful for an OBJ bounce back.
Yeah, you know. Sorry. I was very big on an OBJ bounce back too. Oh, someone sent me a live question.
Okay. What is it?
It's complicated. I'm telling them to either put it in the chat or I'll just answer it later.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Tyler, I'll let QBXers dare to be stupid.
I will say though,
Weird Al
I will say
reference.
that QBX is rare nowadays because you don't see it. Because most people are drafting quarterbacks early. Most people, you can't have QBX if everyone drafts 2 quarterbacks in the first 4 rounds. If everyone does that, no one person's going to have 5.
But if I'm in a league where everybody's doing that, I'm going the other way.
No, I'm fine just doing the same thing as everyone else and just drafting the 2 quarterbacks I wanted and then just drafting other players at another point. I'm fine with that. No, that's what I think you should do. No, but then everyone's just doing what I always recommend. So what's wrong with that? I mean, they're doing what I always tell people to do, which is draft a couple of good quarterbacks early and then fill in with some later fill-ins later. I mean, that's my advice. So if everyone's doing that, then everyone's listening to me. So then I should be happy with that. But that's how it's going. people are listening to me. Everyone's doing what I say and drafting a quarterback early. You can't do QBX if everyone, has a quarterback early. No one's going to have 5 or 6 if everyone picks a couple early. It's less relevant nowadays, but still, I don't recommend it in the situations where it does come up. I don't want to start my draft with 5 quarterbacks.
T. Barber had 1,860 and 1,662 yards in the ground.
That would break me. That would break me.
There's a 30 and 31-year-old.
That would break me. That would break me, right?
Crazy.
Think about what that's saying. That's saying I'm saying sell Derrick Henry now. Sell Derrick Henry now. So that's saying that not now, but in what is
3 years, 4 years,
in 2025.
Yeah.
That he would have 1,860 and 1,662 yards.
And there were people when he retired, there were people that were like, he could still come back and be the guy. Like he could still come back and do it again.
Yeah, people wanted people to come out of retirement for years.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going down right now. I have to go all the way down to RB52. Latavius Murray is 31 years old.
Oh, man. Is he the only one who's 31?
I don't see anyone else in the 30s. No one.
Well,
that's just down to RB87.
That just goes to show you that it's a young man's game these days.
Mostert is 29.
There's one. Latavius Murray is the only running back in ADP who's 30 or older.
Yeah.
He's the only running back being drafted who's 30 or older in all of Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But that's just the world we live in now.
Giovanni Bernard is 29.
He's still 29. That seems impossible. He's, what is he, 1991? I know he's from 29. I know he's 1991 now, but I thought Gio was older.
What do you think about him being the James White plus?
No, I don't think so. No? They have too many other good. James White works when there's no other good targets on the team, but they have to feed Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown, and potentially also a bit of Gronk and OJ Howard. There's not going to be room for Giovanni Bernard as a solo receiving only back to also be a fantasy asset. I mean, if you really believe that, look, I've raised Antonio Brown in my rankings recently because he looks so good. He looks so good in camp. He does. Antonio Brown is 33.
Big surprise, right?
No. Look, good. Antonio Brown is one of the best wide receivers of all time. Right?
Yeah.
He is. Here, I'll read you something. This was Antonio Brown from 2013 to 2018. So the prime of his career, 6 years. His average, 114 receptions, 1,524 yards, and the kicker, 11.2 touchdowns per year. That guy, maybe he's beating the odds. Just maybe he's the one who could beat the odds. I don't know. I have Antonio Brown ranked as my wide receiver 36 in redraft.
I love it.
I'm concerned that that's too low. And Juju is below him where he belongs. But yeah, because for those reasons, I just don't see that there's going to be room for Giovanni Bernard to also be a fantasy asset. He's not going to get any carries. Rojo and Fournette are going to get all the carries. He has 2 carry running backs ahead of him, not just one.
Yeah. I guess John Hogue is a QBX guy.
Oh, I think that's his brand, isn't it?
I mean, Superflex dude, so I guess that's
that's literally his brand.
Ryan, if we're saying embarrassing things, Ryan, just read off your Scott Fishbowl roster again.
No, you remembered. Yes, we busted his chops for his Superflex roster or his SFB roster.
I joined a Superflex league 4 years ago and only drafted Eli Manning because I didn't know what SF meant.
Didn't know.
I have Lance, Herbert, Hurts, and Wentz now, thankfully.
He didn't know what SF.
I love it. I love it.
What did you think it meant?
I love it.
What did you think it meant?
I love it. This is a good point, though. Read the rules before you start drafting. Read the rules.
Yes, read the rules. Who doesn't read the rules?
So many people do not. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a startup and it's like around 7 and somebody is like, wait a minute.
Is this a Superflex league?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I can't. I can't.
Adam, QBX only works if 7 or 8 other league mates are doing it and it freezes out the other managers.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's under the imaginary assumption that people will give you more trade values for the quarterbacks, but they won't. They won't. It doesn't happen. And you know, the funny thing is the proponents of QBX never actually have any evidence that these trades actually happen. They just say that they do, but they don't. They don't happen. That's why I always want to leave a startup with a team I'm happy with. I don't want to have to maybe I have to make a little bit of a trade here or there, but I don't want to have 7 quarterbacks. You can't start 7 quarterbacks. And then you're going to have to beg people to trade with you. It doesn't work. If it worked, I would recommend it. I would recommend it if it worked, but it doesn't. Right.
No, I'm with you.
No one ever provides any evidence that it works, by the way. There's never any evidence provided. It just claims that it works, but it really doesn't. Trust me.
Dynasty Griff. I took extra quarterbacks in a Superflex startup last year because the league was letting crazy value fall. I ended up trading away some for less than typical Superflex value, but got players who went earlier than each QB.
But how many extra? And when did you take them? And how good was the value? Like, what I don't like about QBX is you just go in saying, I'm going to take all the quarterbacks. That's not a winning strategy. Like, if you got to the point where you drafted Patrick Mahomes with your first pick, and then you drafted Joe Burrow in the 2nd, Justin Fields in the 4th, Kirk Cousins in the 8th, and Derek Carr in the 11th, and you drafted 5 quarterbacks that way, then I'm fine with it. I just don't think you should go in with a strategy of quarterback X, locking yourself into that strategy. You should go in with a strategy of building value and building a strong team. Just taking quarterbacks blindly doesn't work. If you get them 5 rounds after their ADP, then sure. But I would say that about any position.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback X force quarterbacks early strategy does not work. I would need specific examples to judge how you specifically did.
Mike Valverde, the game has completely changed since I started in 1992, especially at running back.
Well, I mean, we know that because there's more committees. There's more committees nowadays.
Emmitt Smith in 1992 was a spry 23-year-old, 1,713 yards and 18.
Remember that 1992 was 3 years before I was born.
18 touchdowns.
You were born in 1992, right? Or I thought you were my age, right? You were like 25, 26.
Oh my gosh, I was 11.
Addison's younger than me.
In 1992, is he really?
Yeah,
I'm surprised to hear that.
Pretty sure Addison is 24, 25. Pretty sure Addison's younger than me though.
24-year-old Barry Sanders had 1,352 yards and 9 touchdowns that year. Barry
last week we had a young show. Yeah, it was me and Addison, so we didn't get any of the old references.
Yeah. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the old references.
You're not that old.
I'm pretty old. Monty, 91, standard scoring, 49ers fullback.
Hey, you know what, Cal? One of my friends thought that you were 32.
Hey, I like that friend. Let's see. Todd Rathman. What kind of year did Todd Rathman have? Tom Rathman. I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of Tom Rathman.
Was this a TV only league?
I don't even
You gotta
see a
talk to
Tom
Scott Fish if
Rathman.
you want old fantasy stories. He's
There
been
he is.
he's been around forever.
Tom Rathman, San Francisco,
don't even know who that is,
29-year-old fullback. Oh my gosh. 16. Is that right? No. 6 touchdowns. I'm not sure he brought you to a championship, Monty.
Maybe.
Caleb, any truth to the thought that guys like Justin Jefferson and JT are at peak of their trade value and sell them now?
I mean,
what are you going to sell them for? I mean,
like
22 years old, Justin Jefferson, like, I don't know that you're... I think his value is there because of what we think he can be for a long time.
Yeah. I wouldn't sell him, right? I mean, what are you going to sell him for?
No, these aren't guys I'd be looking to sell. I mean, if you're going to sell Justin Jefferson and Jonathan, unless you're getting like something crazy, like what are we even doing? Like these are the guys that you want on your team because you do have to win. Like you do actually have to have a season where you're like, okay, I'm competing. I got these guys. I invested in them. I made a great draft pick or two. Like now it's time to compete.
I just don't know what you're selling them for.
Ryan, this is a SFB team. Kelsey, Tannehill, Burrow, and Pitts. Not bad.
Yeah. Well.
Barry Sanders broke our heart here in Detroit. Yeah. You had him for a while.
Yeah, but then he retired. Oops.
He did, but let's see. It was such a different world.
Well, you know.
He retired after his age 30 season.
And whose fault is that?
But I mean, you got him for 10 years, Adam.
And how many games did they win in those 10 years?
Yeah, not much. Wow, he retired 2 years after a 2,000-yard season.
Oh, well.
Oof.
They should have done a better job.
2,000 yards in his year 29.
Whatever.
Wow. Was the original Derrick Henry.
Okay.
All right. Mike
Sure.
Allstott. That's the one I remember.
Sure. Mike Allstott, I do know who that is.
Yep, I'm a Saints guy. Adam, Tyler, who's your team?
I'm a Giants fan, but I don't think I'm as much into the Giants as Cal is into the Saints.
Tyler was on my Giants preview. You can go check that out on our YouTube page. That was a fun show.
Well, that show was derailed by some interruptions. Well, my friend.
You?
Squirrel.
Oh, was that trade? Was that the people throwing up on your wall or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
You got to go check out that show if you want to hear that story, I guess.
Yes, you
Benny.
do.
What's up, fellas? What's up, Benny? Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, Giants. Rather than 49ers, Raiders, then a bad Colts running back coach last year. Oops. Ouch. Okay. You want to go through some Twitter questions? What do you want to do?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Here we go. I can keep 2. This is Valor Margolis 1. I can keep 2 of Beasley, T.Y. Hilton, Shepard, or AB for $1 in a Dynasty auction. This is easy.
Well, given my opinion on AB, I would probably keep him. And I guess Shepard, I don't know, because he's the youngest of the rest of them. But it's not like I want him.
Yeah. Okay, if AB wasn't here, which one of those would you want?
Shepard. But it's 2, so AB and Shepard.
Oh, okay. I guess. Beasley, I know we don't like Beasley, but he's got some value if he plays. Hilton is definitely last. It'd be between Beasley and Shepard for me. Okay, first overall pick in a PPR league, Christian McCaffrey.
I would say so.
Let's see. A couple questions. Been back in from the chat. Monty, Kyle Juszczyk, bringing back those good Rathman.
Oh, juice.
False, apparently, memories. They might be false. I don't know. I didn't go back and look at Rathman's career. But you know what? Sometimes, like, I remember Jericho Cotchery helped me win a championship only because, like, I had to play Jericho Cotchery in a championship game, and he somehow had, like, 100 yards and a touchdown. I would need to go fact check that. I don't remember what it was. I know he scored.
Oh, Jericho Cotchery. I remember him on the Jets.
Yes. It was his rookie year, too. Him and Eddie Royal. Remember Eddie Royal?
Yes.
Loved Eddie Royal. Favorite spot to draft and a redraft? Superflex, 10-team PPR, if you can choose.
Actually, I think this year's pretty flat. So 4 is fine. Depends on what you want. I'm not really too picky. I mean, it's the 101 I want, so I can take Christian McCaffrey. Quarterback's less important in a 10-team Superflex because everyone's going to be able to have 3.
So for those of you that don't know, we have a shared Google Doc that we can put questions in. And I love that, like, Tyler, these are some that you added in that you might regret adding in. I don't know. We'll see. At 1T Brett, any plans for your hair? Or is it true? Long hair, don't care.
We don't want any blizzards, so the hair is going to stay. Although I'm having a bad hair day today.
What, as far as plans for your hair, does that mean like changing up your hairstyle?
I'm not planning on changing up my hairstyle.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Don't do that. E.g. Good Sports, what's your favorite smell?
Coffee.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Coffee is one of the more recognizable smells. Like, you can be anywhere and smell coffee. You're like, yeah, coffee. Like popcorn. Popcorn's like that.
Huh. Popcorn is okay.
Popcorn's good. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Controversial. It's the best movie of all time. I can't believe you put this question in here. I literally can't believe it.
Why not?
This is like such a non-Tyler thing to add to questions. Like, I can't imagine you want to actually talk about this.
Fight Club.
Yeah. Ed agrees with you.
I know. Get out of here with that Citizen Kane bullshit.
Best movie of all time. I do like Fight Club. In context for like the time, like I remember walking out of the theater thinking it was the best thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not old enough to have done that. Never seen it. I've never seen Apocalypse Now. The Godfather is a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah, P2 Thor, The Godfather.
Yeah, that's up there.
Maybe not the best Godfather movie though.
I've never seen the other 2.
Well, you don't need to see 3. Godfather 2 was really good. You have like nothing to add.
Nothing to add.
I seriously do not understand why you added this question in there. We're just going to keep talking about all of that. Mike Valverde, Rocky. As a whole series,
never seen any of the Rocky movies.
There's a lot that can be said about the Rocky movies. I like those. Ed, I watched this like 2 nights ago. I love The Big Lebowski. I forgot how much I loved it. It's on Netflix. I laughed so much. Have you ever seen it, Tyler?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. 2027. It's 2027. I have some free time.
Okay, you stole his answer of Fight Club, which I don't even. Have you even seen Fight Club?
Yes.
Okay. What else? Well, what are some other contenders for best movie for you?
Godfather was one.
Okay.
We Need More.
Yes, there's like so many movies.
Oh,
There's so many movies. You've never seen Godfather 2?
No.
You watched Godfather and you were like, that's cool. I'm done there.
Yeah, low key, like maybe a little. All right, let me look at some of the movies I've rated 5 stars
Oh, there you go.
out of 5.
Let's
Okay,
see.
sort by rating. Oh, Parasite.
I don't even know that one.
It's recent. Inception.
Oh, okay.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight.
Dark
Knight was so good.
Memento.
So good. Yeah, Memento was good, no doubt.
Oh wow, I am biased in these. These are some weird ratings. You can tell what I like by these ratings. Titanic.
Okay.
Mean Girls. I like Mean Girls.
Okay.
V for Vendetta.
All right.
It's actually not that good of a movie, but I really like it.
I know I saw it, but very unmemorable for me.
And Avengers Infinity War.
Okay. All right. Ryan fell asleep during Citizen Kane.
Well, I turned off Citizen Kane after like 5 minutes. It's like, this is not interesting.
Adam's a big coffee smell guy. Fresh cut grass. Okay. I can see that. Have you ever smelled fresh cut grass, Tyler, in New York?
No. No.
Would you recognize the smell of fresh cut grass if you smelled it?
I'm sure I would, but I've never smelled it in New York City. You cannot smell fresh cut grass over the other scents in New York City.
Yeah. What are the movie 7? Movie 7's pretty good.
Never seen it. I've always wanted to, but I've never seen it.
That's a great movie.
I've wanted to. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, there was a long time where I probably would have said Pulp Fiction. I do love...
Which I've also never seen.
Gosh.
Sorry.
Gosh. Let's see. Apocalypse Now. Another one. Another Lebowski.
7 is something I want to see. That's been. I have like a watch list of movies I want to. I'm more into movies than TV shows.
You should watch 7. 7's really good.
Because the thing about a TV show is it just goes on and on and on and on, and I'm just not going to finish it. Like a movie is so short; it's only an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm more likely to watch a movie. Like I keep a list of movies I want to watch, but I don't keep a list of TV shows I want to watch.
We're gonna come back to this because
I don't watch a lot of like series TV. I watch mostly episodes. So, but movies, I have a list. One day I'll have to read people from my watch list. Some of the exciting. Oh, there are some really exciting movies on here that I will watch someday.
Dylan Vergara rebuilding in a 12-team Superflex leagues. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Daryl Williams, or early 2022 first and Waddle.
If you're rebuilding, I'll probably take the early first then Waddle if that's really going to be early.
In a Superflex, yeah, I think so.
Depending on how confident you are in that first being early. But if you're very confident, I'll take the first and Waddle. If you're not, then it's close.
Cool.
But this is fair-ish value anyway.
Back to movies.
No.
Ryan, Big Lebowski is a fantastic movie. It is.
Never seen it. I have to. Clearly.
It's oh man, you gotta be in the right mood for it. If you get in the right mood and you watch Big Lebowski, it's amazing. I'm
sure
it
I
does
would.
bowling in it. It's a sports movie. That's true. It's such a simple, it's just such a simple plot line, and it's just hilarious. The characters are great. Goodfellas.
Never seen it.
Okay.
I kind of know what it's about, but I've never seen it.
The dude abides. The dude. The dude. Do you know who the dude is?
No,
Okay. Scarface. Yep.
never seen it.
Al Pacino. Let's go.
Sure.
Parasite. I don't know Parasite.
It was recent. It's like 2020, early 2020. It's the last movie I saw in the theaters.
There Will Be Blood was a good movie.
I never seen that.
Great movie. Let's see. Yeah, Dark Knight and Inception are good choices. Adam likes your Mean Girls.
Mean Girls is so good.
P2 Thor always falls asleep about 20.
I've never seen The Matrix either.
That was one of those movies where I left the theater with my mind blown.
That's another one I want to see, and I just haven't.
Yeah. 7 is worth the watch.
I've heard, yeah. That's one that I do want to watch.
You need to watch that.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
This is the one I was waiting for. No Country for Old Men. I love that movie.
I've never seen that one either.
So good. So good. Yeah, 7 is fire. Yeah, during the pandemic, it was a good time to watch those.
I did watch a lot of movies during the pandemic, but I had so many to catch up on that I didn't get to a lot of these.
Adam says any Tarantino movie really. That's true.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many.
I watched Django Unchained again a few
Never
nights
seen
ago,
that either.
and that was really good too. It was my wife's first time. It was her first time ever seeing it, and I don't know, third or fourth time seeing it. It was really good. 2027 movie rec for Tyler, Coherence. I don't know that movie.
Me neither.
I love No Country for Old Men. I said that. Yeah, Mike. It's brilliant. Training Day is really good with Denzel Washington. Did you see that?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
That rug really tied the room together. It did, Ed. It really, really did. It tied the room together so well.
I'm sure it did.
Majority of Coen brothers. Yeah, I love creativity, and like the Coen brothers have a very unique style that I really like. That's like Fargo is a Coen brothers.
Good
Heard of that movie. Really good one. Florida Project or Room is
The Florida Project is a movie I've wanted to watch. Room, not sure how much I know about that.
Yep, Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men. Yep. Heat.
Don't know anything about it.
I don't remember that one.
I don't know anything about it.
Heat was good. The Butler, I don't know that one either.
Butler makes me think of Clue, which was one of my favorite movies.
The Prestige was really good. Did you see The Prestige?
Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned that.
You did? Okay, I wouldn't listen.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Yeah, or if I didn't.
Yeah.
It is one of them.
I'm looking at 12 Angry Men is up there on this list.
Oh, that's another one that I rated very highly, but it's old, so
yeah, it's old.
Really focus on that.
Forrest Gump.
Okay, I do like Forrest Gump.
I did too. You know what? Honestly, it's just Tom Hanks was in oh gosh, he was like in the prime of his life right there. Like he could be Forrest Gump and then be the Saving Private Ryan guy like a year later, and it was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like you totally believable.
I'm sure he could.
Oh, what's the other one where he was a gangster? Road to Perdition. That's a good movie. Ed, I think me and Ed have similar taste. If you haven't seen it, you need to
probably, yeah.
Second or third, Heat, Prestige.
Prestige, yes. That is one of my favorite movies. Clue is also one of my favorite movies.
I don't think I know that one. Miller Crossing, yeah. Butler, Forrest Whitaker. I don't know.
I've never heard of this, but
Forrest Whitaker is a good actor. Tommy Boy. Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Very different, but like I still quote things from Tommy Boy now.
Do you?
Happy Gilmore. That's another one like in that same era. Like that was like Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, like that whole era. A lot of good ones. Bronx Tale, yeah, Armageddon, Joker. I did see that. Did you see it?
No.
Okay. Ed did see it. It's really good. Uncut Gems. I saw that
I
one.
have seen Uncut Gems, and I gotta tell you, I was
I didn't love it.
not impressed.
I didn't love it.
Not my favorite.
But not at all. Yeah, Good Will Hunting is pretty good.
That's something I would like and haven't seen, but want to. That's high on my list of movies I want to see.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Jackass the movie. Did you see that? Do you even know what that is?
Of course not.
What was that guy's name? Johnny Dynamite? What was this movie?
Johnny Dynamite.
What was his name, Monty? What was his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, Ed didn't like Uncut Gems. I think it was one where you either loved it or hated it. Shit,
I didn't love it. Oh, Dodgeball is a
Knoxville.
really good movie. Dodgeball is a really good movie.
Yes, Dodgeball is amazing. Dodgeball is amazing. I said Johnny Dynamite. What was I thinking? Yeah, Knoxville. All right. Are you so glad that you loaded up that question?
It was fine.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's go back. Ted? I don't know. I wasn't a fan of Ted. It was fine. It was fine. You've been over this question for a long time. Okay, what's your favorite color or color?
Green.
Green?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I always say that, and is green really my favorite color? I feel like that's like the kind of question you have an answer, but like, is that really your answer?
Right. And it's been the same answer you've had since you were like 3.
Yes. Yes, right. It is.
Step Brothers. Yes. Yes. Such a good movie. What is the deadliest predator on the planet?
My answer to this when it came up on Twitter was the best answer.
I have the right answer.
Well, I said it was me before I had my morning coffee.
Okay. All right. I can see that. Is it you like before you had your morning coffee while talking about your favorite movies of all time?
You know, it's funny. I don't really hate movies. TV, I just have no interest in. But like movies, I like movies. I watch plenty of movies.
Yeah. I think it's a jaguar.
Maybe.
That's the scariest one to me.
Shark?
I like when I go to the zoo. New Orleans has a great zoo, and jaguar. They have a really cool little jaguar exhibit. Those things are just so ferocious. You can get up like right next to it, big thick glass right between you and it, and you're still scared the whole time.
Maybe.
All right, we are probably gonna not make it to the 4-hour mark since there's not a lot of Dynasty League questions or NFL talk here. But Dustin asked, "What's your favorite jerseys in the NFL?"
Saquon.
Those Chargers light blue jerseys are awesome.
Oh, you mean like color scheme? I don't. That's not something I care too much about.
I love the Chargers one.
I'm going to be biased and just say I like the Giants jerseys.
Deadliest predators are humans, duh, says Adam.
True. He's right.
Father Time.
That's a good answer. Father Time always wins.
Black Jaguars. I know. Seriously. Like, Jaguars are ferocious. Wait, where's the... Oh, no, where was I? Yeah, Chargers, baby blue. Yep. I got that one right.
Sure. The old Oilers. I remember what those look like. I wasn't alive for it, but I remember what they look like. All
right. You guys don't know this in the chat. Tyler toughed this one out. He had a migraine. This is almost like Jordan's flu game. Like you really turned in a terrific performance here.
Thank you.
Let's see. We'll take that one off. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I appreciate the people for watching. We're going to be here every week, answer all your questions, and we just appreciate the community in the chat.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. I am at Calvin and Hobby. This is at DLF_Carp. You can follow us on Twitter and ask us questions. You can find us right here every Tuesday. And we can talk about football as we've got a lot of things coming up. Only 3 preseason weeks, and this is the first one. Remember, we don't have 4 like normal.
True.
It's coming up. It's coming up. I'm excited to see how this goes this weekend. We'll have lots of real football to talk about when we come back that I'm sure we won't overreact to.
I'm sure we will.
And so, yeah, make sure you're following us. Follow at DL Football. We thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next show.